Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get it into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! That's it! Dorian Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
Career year. Like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by it.
HG on deck, stats loaded and primed. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking one.
Breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. Put him in there. Did not put him in there.
We see through the hype. Call out the feed.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
For your
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. HG and Caveman in the house with another episode of the Football Frenzy. Week 13 in college football, Week 12 in the NFL. College football is a lot of blowouts this week.
Yep.
You have a lot of those easier games.
Yeah, it's cupcake week for the SEC. So this last year they're doing it, thankfully. going to finally make them play 9 conference games like everybody else.
Which I think is fair. They got a hard conference, but at the same time, now everybody else's conference difficulties ramped up quite a bit for these teams.
It was always kind of like BS that, SEC schools would be getting the nod for having a better record, but they have to play like one less conference game, like late in the season, late November. I mean, you get into some trap games and some really tough matchups, even if you're not playing like the ranked conference opponent. Like you'd have somebody just go down against a really solid in conference opponent, and I mean that would just really hurt their chances at a postseason or better bowl bid. So
yeah, because the fact that they're able to get in, that's a good point that you bring up. That one game kind of changes a lot with their schedule compared to a lot of teams. They get the nod in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, just tired of the SEC bias, man. It is crazy.
This year, I'd say that the teams that are in the SEC this year, I'd say they're actually some good teams. There's some squads. They deserve to be in that. Like A&M, definitely a team to watch out for. Alabama, Ty Simpson had a couple picks in their win, but they won 56-0. I mean, that guy's still a problem. Right. Gunnar Stockton's a problem. Whole SEC's got some dogs in there. But
I mean, I guess this year the Pac-12 obviously fell apart. The ACC really hasn't been their best past couple of years. They've been kind of struggling, but I mean, you look at the Big Ten and the Big 12, and like both of those squads or those conferences got some absolute units coming out of there. I mean,
we only see one Big 12 squad in this top 12. That's the craziest thing. Probably only be Texas Tech.
I really think BYU deserves to be in there too. And Utah, man, Utah's getting good at the right time. Like Utah, I think would be a very scary team.
And 9-2, they've been putting up points, dude. 51 points.
Right.
In this last game.
And like Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, all the top 3 in the Big Ten, all super dangerous. And like, honestly, USC, like if they didn't have to play, Oregon as one of their conference opponents, if they didn't have that rivalry game with Notre Dame, like their record would probably be better right now and they'd be getting playoff buzz, but they've played a fairly tough schedule. They had to go they dropped one on the road at Illinois too. That's one of their 3 losses. I mean, it's like 2 tough road losses. I mean, all of them are road losses to ranked opponents. It's like, and because they're playing a tougher schedule, they're probably not getting the nod this year. But like, USC would definitely be a dangerous team.
Yeah, they're going to be one of the better teams in this bowl weekend that we got coming up here.
I mean, like that's what's going to suck is like I don't know if like how many of their guys are actually going to play in a bowl game. They got to fix something where the just the vibe towards bowl season. Like now, like a lot of people just like treat it like it doesn't matter, and it still does. Like that's that's something you can love about college sports is that like all these bowl games, you can have your team can have a successful season and have something to hang their hat on going into next year. Taking pride in that bowl game. It's still a great accomplishment to make it the one and to win one.
Yeah, and I think majority of their squad is probably going to stay and just continue to develop that team. So I think that's one team to watch out for next year.
Oh, for sure. I know they're probably a little disappointed they wanted to make with the squad they had, Lincoln Riley coaching, they really wanted to be able to make the playoff this season and try to go on the run, but it doesn't look like it's happening.
I think next year their big focus got to be on stopping the run, because that was one thing Oregon kind of had their way on the ground.
Right, and they struggled a lot against Jeremiah Love earlier in the season too. They definitely have to be a little bit better. I mean, I guess Love he's just kind of unstoppable, but yeah, they definitely struggled against Oregon, and that was what kept Michigan. Even though they won that game, Michigan was able to stay in it because of things like that, being able to run the football really well.
Let's get into our rundown here, HG.
Top 25 rundown.
The top or the bottom?
Let's start at the top. A lot of blowouts up here for the most part to just kind of cruise over. I mean, they're all a bunch of SEC schools and such playing FCS schools. So what are you going to do? Our number one team in the country, Ohio State, got another big victory over Rutgers. Ohio State, I'll say, I mean, they look really good. This has definitely been an easier schedule for them this year. That's not to say they haven't played some tough opponents. Obviously, Texas to open the season. Illinois on the road at Illinois, which was definitely not by no means an easy game. But Illinois has kind of fallen off significantly late here.
They got Penn State at the right time already after they fired their coach.
In collapse mode. So I'm still holding on to the Michigan upset theory. I mean, I just really like that, the rivalry of the game, I mean, it doesn't matter the talent disparity between the two teams. There's a different level of intensity to that matchup. And, you'll have guys that have been bench warmers all year coming out and playing with such intensity that they can just create chaos out there. So, like I said, I don't know if they've really been super tested this year. I mean, no Indiana, no USC, no Oregon.
Really haven't even played any of the top teams.
In their
this
conference.
Michigan game is the one game.
They got Washington, who's in the top 6 of the conference, but then a lot of teams closer towards the bottom for Ohio State. So certainly watching out for that Michigan team. I mean, that game turns into an ugly type of ball game, and that's really a Michigan's favorite. And I believe it's at the Big House too. So.
Yeah, it's in Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Samford went into College Station rather at Kyle Field to try to shock the world against A&M, and they did not do that. They lost 48-0. I'm pretty sure Marcel Reed was done after the first quarter.
He threw 15 passes.
Yeah, he threw for only 120 yards in a short amount of time, but still managed to rack up 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Charlotte also trying to shock the world in Athens, Georgia. Did not happen. They lose 35-3 to the Bulldogs. Again, similar situation. It's, I think, a senior day for a couple of these schools. And so they definitely got their senior players out there, but resting them up for bigger matchups next week. Indiana on a bye, they've probably got the easiest closeout to their season of teams in the top 5. They're just playing Purdue. You look at our top 5 teams, I believe it's Bama, right? Or not Bama, Old Miss. They've also got a fairly easy closeout to their schedule. I don't remember who they have, but A&M, Ohio State, Georgia all have some really tough tests to end their season.
A&M it's Texas A&M, Texas.
Yeah, they got to go to Texas to play them. Ohio State's got to go
the
to
rivalry
Michigan,
week.
and Georgia Tech on the road Georgia on the road to play Georgia Tech. So we could see an upset or two in the top 5 this week. I'm gonna put that out there. Continuing on with our rundown, we're in some games that we will actually get into here. We got Oregon, pretty commanding win over USC. Now, when you look at it, they were really in control of this game from start to finish. Dante Moore was excellent. As you mentioned, Noah Whittington and the other running backs of Oregon were really great on the ground today. Oklahoma hosting Missouri. Respect to these two SEC schools for taking on an extra conference game this year. And, Mizzou got their QB back, but that Oklahoma defense was
all over him, man.
It was too much. Yeah, they were swarming him, and real grinded out type of game. But 17-6, Sooners get that victory, keeping those playoff dreams alive.
They kind of needed that 9th conference game, honestly, to just give them that last little push, stay in the top 12.
Now you got to kind of look at it like Bama now, like, okay, if these two records are similar, first of all, they've got a head-to-head, but, like, now that's another ranked win for Oklahoma versus Alabama, who just beat up on Eastern Illinois 56-0. And then, Notre Dame, we're going to talk a little bit about this game and the things that they did to Syracuse, because 35 points in the first quarter, 3 touchdowns. Jeremiah Love literally outscored like 10 times what Syracuse scored, 70-7. Actual insanity out of the Irish right there. BYU went into definitely a game that felt like a little bit of a trap game against a tough Cincinnati team, but they went in there. They played really well. LJ Martin probably had his game of the season with 220 rushing yards. They come away with a 26-14 win. Utah, man, I'm telling you, their defense sort of had an off week this week in the shootout with Kansas State. But just the explosiveness of this offense has been able to find, and the way they're able to put up points has really been a revelation for this team this season. They survive a shootout with the Wildcats, 51-47. Miami going on the road to play Virginia Tech gets a pretty commanding road victory there to stay alive, potentially in the ACC title hunt. It's going to be absolute chaos on who comes away with that championship there. Who's even going to make it? We're going to just have to really break it down for the final week of the season, and just look at the ACC schedule this week, because it's going to be chaos. Who knows who's getting in there? Kentucky was smoked on the road by Vanderbilt. Vandy still kind of holding on to an outside hope that maybe they can sneak into the college football playoff, currently ranked at 14 right now, but big 45-17 win will certainly help keep them in the mix there. And just adding to the ACC chaos, Georgia Tech hosting the Pitt Panthers. And, really, they were probably in the driver's seat more than any other team in the ACC. And now they gave the keys to Virginia after Pitt comes in there, goes up 21-0 after the first quarter, and comes away with a 42-28 victory. So Pitt, still one of those only one-loss ACC teams. It's chaos, man.
The ACC is really where it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Because now Georgia Tech has a chance to play spoiler on Georgia, maybe not even make the playoffs now.
Right. And, you're looking at a team like, I think SMU's probably got the easiest to close out the season because Pitt's got to play Miami this week. Virginia's actually, they got Virginia Tech. I don't remember who SMU is playing here.
They got Boston College.
Boston College. Okay, so I mean, we did see BC almost upset Georgia Tech a little while ago, but you feel like SMU should be able to close it out. So I mean, like I'm thinking it's probably SMU, Virginia Tech. Am I forgetting the one-loss team? I don't think so. I think Georgia Tech was the other one.
Let's see. Yeah, that was the only other one.
This conference been kind of on crack this year. All right. Back over to the SEC. Arch Manning had a pretty disappointing season, but at home against Arkansas, putting up some video game numbers, 389 passing, 4 touchdowns through the air. He ran for a touchdown and also caught a touchdown in that game.
It up.
Yeah, he was statting it up. Something for Texas to build on going into the next season. Michigan got a big road victory over Maryland, 45-20, to keep their playoff hopes alive. Tennessee is pretty much out of it for the playoff hopes, but still trying to get a good bowl game. Takes care of Florida in Florida, 31-11. And this is what I was talking about with Ohio State, that Illinois win looking less impressive. Illinois got
Wisconsin.
They lost pretty badly to Wisconsin, 27-10, losing by 3 scores. Yeah, I was in Wisconsin, but man, that's just not a great loss there for the Illini.
No, that's terrible.
TCU going on the road and getting a big upset over Houston, and effectively pretty much quelling any outside hope that Houston had at maybe seeing the Big 12 championship with some chaos there. They can just go focus on getting the win and getting to bowl season. 17-14 Horned Frogs get the victory. Number 24, Tulane, smoking their in-conference opponent, Tulane, 37-13. Tulane still looking like that favorite, man, to be the group of 5 team.
Yeah, it's looking like they're going to be that. But North Texas, maybe, too.
I think it's coming. I really think it's those two making the American, and whoever wins that's probably getting the nod from the committee. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This conference has been really good. A lot of 1-loss teams and 2-loss teams in your top 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the American Conference Championship is going to be a doozy to watch. All right, and then rounding out the top 25, Arizona State just beating down on the pitiful CU Buffs, 42-17. And pitiful they were.
Yeah, 1-7 in the Big 12. Oh man, let's see if Dion can rebuild the squad.
Been a rough season for.
Makes it a lot easier when you're recruiting some of the best players from the team you're moving from. Man.
Yeah.
Rough off season.
Definitely.
That star-studded coaching staff too. There's all these Marshall Faulks, the running back coach. Got
Warren Sapp. I'm sure.
I don't get it.
Well, just because they were good football players doesn't mean they're good coaches.
True.
I'm
Which
trying to
think of we want to start at.
Think of an example. Jeff Saturday. He played football for years for the Colts versus Shane Steichen, who I don't think's ever played. pro ball. Not at the level Jeff Saturday did, but Steichen's a way better coach. You know what? I want to jump into the slaughter that was Notre Dame versus Syracuse. Because this game got out of control so fast. So
it was all defensive and like special team scores in the first quarter.
Notre Dame was up 3 touchdowns before their offense even took the field. They had
21-0.
They had the punt return touchdown. Yeah, blocked punt. That was what it was. They blocked the punt, and then multiple pick sixes from Leonard Moore, Jalen Stroman, taking a few back to the house. And so you're Syracuse. You're looking at a 21-0 hole. Your defense hasn't even touched the field.
Not to mention Jeremiah Love only had eight carries in this one. 8 carries for 171 yards.
Right.
An average of 21 yards a carry.
I mean, Notre Dame as a team, they really had the football, dude. Like they had only 24 carries in this one, and they had 329 yards.
They scored 70 points. HG, 18 minutes possession time. Syracuse had the ball for 41 minutes.
That feels like it should be a typo.
The score should be opposite.
That feels like it's a typo. That just shows you how explosive they were in this one. I mean, all the big play touchdowns, long runs, defensive scores, special teams scores. Yeah, I mean, you just don't even need your offense on the field hardly when you're out there. I mean, that's to have nearly 42 minutes of total possession and to get outgained by 189 yards is insane.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's just horrible. Like, wow. 9 passes from CJ Carr. He threw 49 passing yards in this game and won 70-7.
Yeah.
What the hell?
This is just the definition of a dominating team win, where I just like they didn't ask Carr to do a lot for the offense, but he delivered. I mean, only 4 incompletions, not bad. When you throw the ball 9 times, I guess.
Yeah.
The running backs, when they got it, were just ripping off big plays. Jadarian Price with a 58-yard run. Love, his long was 68, but he had a number of big runs in this one. But then, the defense getting you 2 scores, the special teams getting you a score, and I mean, I'm just like, it's surprising that Syracuse was able to possess the ball for as long as they did, for just like how badly they got.
Yeah, they were just getting gashed.
I mean, they were able to get a few first downs before punting, really, and it was just like, so I mean, they were just kind of wasting time that way.
Yeah, I mean, 15 tackles for loss and 5 sacks for Notre Dame. And this one, they were just in the backfield. And on the other side, 1 sack for Syracuse and 3 tackles for loss. They didn't generate any pressure. And that blocking from Notre Dame, they get to the second level, third level blocks, and it just does. Nobody's breaking free.
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to watch Jeremiah Love run down the sideline, and if it's 1-on-1, he's easily gonna make the guy miss.
Oh, dude, he is the best player in college football. I don't think it's even
He's looking like Barry Sanders in some of these clips. It's crazy.
I'm trying to let me see where the Heisman odds are. Pull up Fox Sports' odds real quick here. He's got
to be in there.
He's definitely It's gone up. Man, some of the other broadcasts I was watching, like these guys, the commentators were giving out their top 5 for Heisman, and he wasn't even in that. And I'm like, that's incredibly disrespectful.
That's BS.
It's like 5 quarterbacks. I'm like, come on, we're not doing the NFL thing where only a QB can win the most prestigious award. Like Jeremiah Love is dominating. And right now, I mean, they got Mendoza at minus 105. Love is at plus 375. I think you should flip that, man. That guy is just an absolute beast.
He should honestly be the front runner. I think his odds got to be at minus 105. Like, how? How is he not? I don't understand that.
Then he's got 1,300 rushing yards and 17 rushing touchdowns on top of 274 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. So, just casually nearly 1,600 total scrimmage yards and 20 total touchdowns. Give this man the Heisman.
And they're undefeated after losing the first 2 games in a row. I mean, you're going to factor in team success. Like, this dude's a huge part of their offense.
They've got a true freshman quarterback. And what helps, a young QB win football games and be successful when they're not very experienced? A great run game to lean on, and that also can enable a really good defense. When you can run the football well, that gives a good defense, which Notre Dame has, gives them a little more rest, keeps other defenses on the field, wears them down, stops the other team's offenses from getting in rhythm if they're not possessing the ball as much. It's what he's able to do is crucial. I mean, like, he splits a backfield with Jadarian Price too. It's not even like
it's not even
the lone back there. They have another back that gets a lot of touches in the game. So he's getting his touches vultured and still has the numbers that he has.
It doesn't make sense that he's not the front runner and MVP right now. He is major part of that run game, major piece, and a true freshman quarterback. What more could you ask for than to have a successful run game to lean on? And I can't even lie, CJ Carr has been a better passer than anyone that Notre Dame has seen in like the last 5-10 years.
Right. Like, once he develops a little bit more, the Irish should be
really good. Be dominant. They wouldn't even have to play those first 2 games of the year. Definitely, they might have to have a whole year just playing the top dogs. I mean, they honestly could do it. Their defense is stacked. I think they have an SEC level front, a defensive lineman. They got great in coverage because, I mean, they're getting to the quarterback and they live in the backfield. There's this team that wins in the trenches. And I love it.
Leonard is a fantastic corner too out there. I think he's going to be playing on Sundays for a long time. I mean, if you're the Irish, like the past few weeks, they've really been hitting their stride. They've really been gelling really well. I think like all 3 phases of the game have been super efficient.
Yeah, there's no mistakes, no missed opportunities.
Which that's what you want to see as you're going into the postseason. So they're getting hot and at the right time, which could be a scary thought for some of these other teams. Because now, I mean, it just seems like who do they even finish their last game against? Stanford?
Oh man.
It is a road team, but I mean, okay, so there's a good, pretty much we'll call a 98% chance that they win that and close out the year.
Yeah. It'd just be like a freak game if they lose that one. Like, they would have to pretty much lose that one in the worst way possible. Injuries, whatever. Like, there's no way they lose on the road to Stanford.
All right, moving on here. We're going to go to a shootout in the Big 12, man. Utah, Kansas State. And this one was interesting. It really wasn't Avery Johnson that was doing a whole lot of the scoring. It was the Joe Jackson game, man. I don't know where this came from with this Kansas State rushing attack. I mean, they were just so terrible all year. And like Utah, uncharacteristic for them to give up, hit like 472 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. Just a bad game out of their defensive front overall, which I thought has been really good this year. They're definitely stronger in the secondary, though. I think they're a lot better in the secondary. And so Kansas State, I mean, just really they were able to find something that was working going up against this front. And just, I mean, a lot of it was just straight up the middle or in between the tackles and guards. So there wasn't a ton of outside running. Just they were getting such a push. Joe Jackson, man, he had more total rushing yards just as an individual than Utah had as a team. Utah rushed as a team for 292 yards. They also did have 5 touchdowns on the ground themselves. And Joe Jackson, 293 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Like one guy pretty much had more rushing yards than 4 players on Utah. Mm-hmm. That's insane. Yeah, no Dylan Edwards. He getting it done with Joe Jackson.
But ultimately, I think the difference in this one, it turned out to be Devin Dampier's ability to move the football through the air. Kind of ultimately was what helped seal this up for Utah. Spirited effort, though, by the Wildcats. I know a very disappointing season from what they were expecting, and there's still a chance for them to secure a victory against their in-state rival. Have they already played Kansas?
I don't think so.
They
have.
They have. They got to play. They play CU.
They got something.
They play CU, so they should make a bowl. They should qualify for bowl eligibility. Yeah. Also, wow, this was an insane game. We had over 1,000 yards of total offense.
Yeah.
5 fourth down attempts between each team, and they converted all 5. 2 for Utah, 3 for Kansas State. And a relatively clean game. I mean, there was a fumble from Utah, and the Utah defense really sealing it late with a late interception of Avery Johnson. Sure, as I was saying, is that secondary is really where their talent is, and that's when Kansas State lost the football game, is when they had to put the ball in the air. That's where they got stopped some. I mean, they were 4 of 12 on 3rd down. And so, if the running game wasn't super successful on 1st and 2nd down, and they had to, go into a more obvious passing situation, that was where Utah was able to generate some stops here. So I'll definitely say for the Utes, concerning that they gave up so many rushing yards, but I'm looking at this as more of like an outlier type of game than a consistent trend. Because I mean, I looked at them against a really good rushing team in BYU or against Texas Tech, and there was some struggles to stop the run, but it wasn't nearly this bad. And
yeah, they just were getting gashed.
Yeah. I think you're gonna. If whoever they play in their bowl game or whatever, it's going to be,
it's going to be the film that they watch leading into that game. They're going to be watching what worked against this defense. I mean, what run schemes got. Obviously, they were getting gigantic lanes for Joe Jackson.
All right. Keeping it in the Big 12 here. We're going to go, let's talk about what Utah did on the road against Cincinnati. Another really impressive win. I think it's a crash on the looking like a crash course between Utah or BYU rather, who's in Utah, and Texas A&M again.
Yeah, they kind of
Texas Tech rather
set the path for themselves.
Yeah.
Texas Tech and BYU to be in that championship.
Cougs
LJ Martin
against UCF, West Virginia for the Red Raiders. Yeah, I mean, I think we're 2 11-1 teams squaring off again in the Big Ten championship here. And yeah, really for Utah, I mean, their Achilles heel is like, how much of the game is going to be in Bear Brockmeyer's hands? We saw the last time they played Texas Tech that they weren't able to run the ball super efficiently. And when Brockmeyer had that pass rush of the Red Raiders really made him uncomfortable.
He wasn't able to pass, yeah.
Yeah, they turned the ball over a lot. But however, I mean, like Texas Tech's got a very good defensive front. I think BYU's offensive line might be a bit better if they're I think they just didn't play very well in that game.
Bounce back.
This is a neutral site with some different energy to it. I don't know. I feel like it could be different. And if BYU's getting, 265 on the ground and 220 from LJ Martin, they're going to be a very tough team to stop.
Yeah, this game is going to be much closer in this championship game. I mean, it's more to play for. This is probably going to be that one Big 12 team that makes the playoff. Is whoever wins the Big 12 here.
I honestly
think 2 of them make it just because last week they didn't want to have 2 of them in.
Right.
I don't think they get that nod.
I guess you're going to probably have to put in Notre Dame. You're going to have to put in a group of 5, so that only leaves you 10. I mean, there's that. Like at this point, Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State all seem like givens. Then the rest have to be SEC teams. I guess there's going to be an ACC team as well.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Miami.
But man, I don't know. We'll have to review the rankings and mock brackets again when they come out tomorrow.
I wish it came out earlier, bro. It's like 4 p.m. They want to release the freaking poll. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm. It's like a whole event on ESPN. But
yeah, it's like an hour-long thing every day, every Tuesday. They pick that poll.
So, I mean, Brendan Sorsby and this Cincinnati offense have shown. I mean, they were stymied for a good chunk of this game. I mean, Sorsby did end up throwing for 300 yards. A lot of that was coming late. I mean, this game was well in
far from over.
Yeah. And, I mean, they made it close. It was 20-7, and they made it like 20-14, and then Utah just got two really long drives together, kicked some field goals, went up by 12, and put Cincinnati to bed. Yeah.
This was a huge game, though, from their offense. Like, LJ Martin is going to have a huge confidence booster now going into the Big 12 championship. And so is the offensive line group. Like you were saying, they completely turned it around since the last time they played Texas Tech. They're a completely different team since that game. And I mean, even the moments where Bachmeier had to pass against some other squads, he did look a little bit better in the weeks going forward after that game. So, man, can they lean on Martin against this Texas Tech front, though? That oil money is freaking got that team into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Their recruiting in the offseason was insane, man. I want to know how much these kids are making at Texas Tech, dude. Who was on a bye. Just got to hang out over the weekend. Watch who they might be playing in the Big 12 championship.
get us some scouting on Utah or BYU. I keep calling them Utah. On BYU. I mean, obviously, you don't want to. With how many upsets we've seen this season, I don't want to say anything is a given. They still got to beat their two opponents, but I'd say it's a very high chance that it's those two.
Yeah, that UCF team, last year with RJ Harvey, they were a pretty scrappy team. They could run it down your throat.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's got the home run speed we've seen in the NFL. UCF, they actually had a lot of players go to the draft and graduate, so
they did not replace talent very well. And
they're not the same team. And they weren't able to fill up those seats.
They're like a squad that gets, puts together a pretty solid team every few years, and then they kind of just fade back to being mid for a little bit, and then they get another good team. It's a cycle of mediocrity.
Yep.
Except for 2017. Now, all right, we're going to bounce over to our big top 25 ACC matchup, which is going to send some shockwaves through it. Georgia Tech just got absolutely shredded by Pitt. I mean, obviously, Tech's offense has been sort of more of the sell on this team. I mean, there's definitely been a better offensive team than they have been defensively this year. But you'd like to see the defense has stepped up and played some complimentary football for them this season. They did pull off 6 sacks in this game.
Yeah, they got
they just
amount of pressure.
They were getting good pressure, but they were just kind of getting picked apart by Heinzschild. I mean, he just really didn't get very battled. I mean, he just
7 incompletions.
He was in the zone. Yeah, 226, 2 touchdowns. Ja'Kurian Turner ran all over them too. They just had no push up front when it came to stopping the run. He had almost 100 more yards as individually than Georgia Tech did as a team. And Georgia Tech's a team that really likes to run the football.
And they couldn't get anything. Jamal Haynes only had 39 yards. Haynes King, 76 yards on 20 attempts. It kind of seems like they abandoned it a little bit, though. They were down a lot. King's got to throw 41 passes. I mean, you're guaranteed for some giveaways there.
Yeah, you got down 21-0 very early.
And it just forces you to pass. You got no other option.
Mm-hmm. One of the they had a killer pick 6 at the goal line that Braylon Lovelace took to the house. That was a huge momentum flip in this game as well. Going in and looking at the score, and then all of a sudden it's you're down multiple touchdowns. Instead, that one was just brutal for him. And then another interception late by King.
This is a team. They want as many. Yeah, they're looking for as many rushing attempts as they are passing attempts in this game. So they got to do a better job stopping the run against Georgia, because that's going to be an even better offensive line, even better scheme. Kirby Smart isn't going to let anything easy go in this one.
Yeah. Well,
and they got prime footage of you guys getting gashed by Turner. So, I mean, there's
Georgia hasn't been great running the football this year, but I mean, I know that's something that they're going to want to really establish going into the playoff. Man, the way that this defensive line of Georgia Tech kind of just got moved out of the way by the Pitt offensive line. I think they're going to struggle. And I mean, the same way, you only are able to manage up on 33 attempts, 121 yards against Pitt's defensive line.
It's going to be even less.
Wait till you play Georgia's.
Yeah.
it is a rivalry game. This could be a good wake-up call for Georgia Tech, and we see a much more inspired team next week. But their performance in this one does not inspire a ton of confidence in me.
Yeah, no, it kind of makes me feel like a prediction of Georgia just kind of running and controlling the time of this game. Georgia Tech not really going to have an answer for that run game, and then it's kind of a low-scoring blowout where Georgia Tech's offense can't really ever find rhythm because they're off the field too much.
Could be like
Georgia's
that
a power run
between Georgia and Texas, where it was like they were hanging around for a while, and then in the fourth quarter, Georgia just
was like, "Yeah, we're done playing around with you guys."
Exploded and put them to bed.
But I honestly think Georgia Tech is a little bit better than Texas this year. I think I can confidently say that just because you know,
most definitely
they've been beating down some big squads, major upsets, top of their conference for the entire year, making Miami look like kind of a mockery. Miami is a 2 or 3 loss team as well. So, it's a team that everyone thought was just going to dominate the ACC. We're looking at a really good Georgia Tech team. Hopefully they can keep their talent around because their boy Haynes King's a senior. He's going to be moving on next year.
Yeah, he'll be an interesting project in the draft. He's definitely shown some great arm talent. But he's, what will he kind of be like as a dual threat quarterback? I don't know. He's interesting. I'm not sure where I stand on him as a prospect just yet.
Definitely seems like it would be a huge project. I don't know. Maybe his team does take him. I don't think he'll be one of the first round guys, obviously, but one of those late round options, depth. I think he could still make a roster in the NFL.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he definitely has some just physical similarities to a Josh Allen or Cam Newton, where it's just he's got a strong arm and some good athleticism. He's
a big, tall guy too.
Yeah, 6'3", 215. So I mean, obviously, I don't know if he'll be as good as either of those guys. But just definitely the dual threat, big body QB that can launch it, but definitely a lot of mechanics that need to be.
It would be a huge work in progress. I just want to see that happen though, just because hey man, why not? Why not try to build up a young guy with that playing style? I mean, get him up to the NFL level with his arm talent, accuracy, and everything, because he can already run it all day long. I mean, that comes easy.
I wonder where he'd be projected.
Being a quarterback.
Probably the 3rd or 4th round is my guess. Kind of, who I think would be kind of interesting to grab him, draft him as the kind of replacement behind Matthew Stafford, because your Rams are going to get the Falcons, who are going to have a top 10 pick. But if Stafford's coming back playing the way he's playing, why are you wasting? Don't waste the pick on the quarterback there. Get yourself,
Yeah, luxury pick right there. Whatever they want.
An elite middle linebacker or cornerback prospect, safety, or maybe another great edge rusher to go with that defensive front. Just be a lot of good options there, or a stud offensive lineman.
Yeah.
To help protect Stafford, just play around with get something, just take best available basically at that position, and then a guy like King you can draft in the 3rd and work on kind of developing him, and when Stafford's ready to retire, maybe he comes in and he's
ready to go. He might be ready.
But then you haven't spent a ton of capital on him, and if he's on a high pick, his contract situation's not going to be.
Yeah, it won't be too much to hurt your team or any of your stars.
Yeah.
To make the team. I mean, no one will really have to get like a pay cut to make that roster like work. If
Then you
just
put him into a good situation for a first-time starter with like a lot of talent and a good supporting cast around it. You know, it's not going to be like a Cam Ward.
it would be a really good place to learn.
He's just walking out there to get fed to the wolves.
There's a lot of QBs in situations like that this year, man. Or their teams are just so bad. It's like we got no other option.
But get out there, good luck, kid. Van Jefferson is your number one wide receiver, by the way. All right. We're going to go back on topic with some of these games here. We're going to go Oklahoma, Missouri next to get here. And, man, Oklahoma, the offense is not putting up crazy stats, but they're protecting the football. That's what's been really important in these past two games is that they've been keeping the ball out of harm's way. Like John Mather was pretty inefficient, 14 of 30, two touchdowns, 173 yards, no interceptions, no
They
fumbles.
didn't turn it over though. They kept the ball in their hands.
Right. And then they're kind of just playing behind their defense, which has been their strength at this point, who did get two interceptions of their own. They held Missouri was 3 of 15 on third downs, and they also got stopped on a fourth down. And so, excuse me, the big difference is just Oklahoma. You know what? If the offense isn't going to light it up, just don't make it harder for your defense. And that's kind of been the way they've been playing all year. But we definitely seen this team, if they can get just a little more explosiveness out of this running game like they had earlier in the season.
Yeah, Robinson was having some really big runs early in the year.
Right. Him and like Mateer was able to put up, like a 80, 90 yards on the ground, without needing 18 carries. And it was opening up a little bit more for him in the passing game. So it's a very great Oklahoma defense. I mean, they 4 sacks in this one, 8 tackles for a loss. They've got a really great defensive front.
They did a good job building that up. That was kind of their issue first year in the SEC. They weren't ready to face those battles in the trenches like that. I mean, there's that's where the real big boys are in college football. If you're an offensive lineman, top recruit, you're going to the SEC.
I mean, in college football especially, if you can't run the football, I mean, you're
done. You're done. That's it.
You're not going to really be successful. I mean, like you see it a lot, there are guys that'll go out there and throw for like 400 plus yards in like 4 touchdowns in the game, but it's all because they're playing from behind, and like they're getting their defense can't stop anything, and they're just getting run all over. And they've got really no run game to speak of to help, do some ball control.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a big theme in this playoff is like teams that can run the ball are going to be at a very high level, are going to be a lot more successful.
Yeah, and that we kind of saw that was the struggle for Missouri as the season went on. Pribula was dealing with his injuries, and their offense just took a huge decline. Pretty sure they lost 4 straight conference games when he was dealing with his injury. I mean, if you try to control the clock a little bit in this game, you might have done better if they could just run it, because they were up 6-0.
They lost
in the second quarter before Oklahoma finally started scoring.
They lost 3 out of their last 4 Caveman conference games. Was what?
Dang.
Yeah, I mean they were all tough ones: Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, and then this one, Oklahoma.
Yeah, tough games without your quarterback. and some tough games without being able to run the football without him.
Ahmad Hardy's a fantastic back. He had that 300-yard performance against Mississippi State. But when there's not a whole lot of threat from your passing game, it's like, and you're playing some of these elite defensive lines, they're just key. And you've got some really great like linebackers and run supporting safeties. Like they're going to bring a lot of guys down into the box and just dare you to try to throw it.
Boy, did it work. Because even with all those guys in the box, Bo Pribula gave the ball up to him twice. 2 picks for him in this one. Forced to throw nearly 40 passes.
And it just started to get out of hand. You could tell, like, it's where, like Missouri they were starting to get a little rattled on the road here too. Weren't able to really ever put anything together. And
I'm excited to see Oklahoma in the playoff if they make it. I'm kind of excited to see what they can do.
I mean, I think their defense will keep them in some games, but like I'm just like, it depends on who they get.
If they match up 8 versus 9 against Notre Dame, then you can just kiss it goodbye. I don't care how good their front is. Jeremiah Love's gonna have a great day.
Yeah. I just think like also like a defense like Notre Dame's is, like if you're going to play all cautious and slow against them, they're going to just get up and get really aggressive with you, and they're going to force more turnovers. You have to kind of be able to spread Notre Dame out and back them off a bit. If you let them start getting downhill at you at the line of scrimmage, bad things are going to happen. But if you can hit them over the top, back them off with some deep shots or some explosives a little bit, then you might be able to protect the football better. But I like the way Oklahoma's offense plays, it seems it's very cautious. It's very like, let's take it slow, conservative, try to run it plenty. I just don't know how viable that's going to be in the playoff.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
I feel like their best chance is to get matched up first round with like an ACC team or the Group of 5 team. Whoever the ACC champ is, because I mean, like those teams have definitely shown some inconsistencies, and maybe and some susceptibility to really good defenses, especially like a dominant defensive front like Oklahoma has. But I mean, it's just like if they get, I mean, like I don't feel confident like Oklahoma would be able to take on like, any like Oregon or Ohio State and Indiana are going to be on the bye. But like, I don't think they could beat Oregon. I don't think Texas Tech or BYU. I don't know. I just don't think they'd be able to beat them either.
Yeah. Like them up against Texas Tech, that might be a pretty solid game. It's just too conservative.
Maybe if they get the home fronts advantage, but even then, if it's somehow Miami that comes out of it, I don't even know if they beat Miami. I think they'll make it. They got one last test against LSU to close out the season. I'm just not feeling like, I know they're picking up victories. I'm just not feeling super confident on them.
Yeah.
I went against Alabama. What I thought was impressive, but then like watching Bama the past few weeks, it feels like they're kind of having a little bit of a late season collapse. Like you said, Simpson wasn't really great against Eastern Illinois, threw 2 interceptions.
2 picks. He's still a problem in college football, but I mean, Eastern Illinois shouldn't be getting turnovers against the SEC team.
What gives me some hope for Oklahoma, though, couple weeks ago on the road at Tennessee, we saw that the offense make some big plays, and then the defense generated some explosives as well. So I would like to see a little more consistency out of the offense for Oklahoma. I just don't know if they're going to be able to make it out of the first round.
This is their last week to prove it because you got another really good defense. And, I mean, they're playing a lot better without Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't lie. A lot of these teams that fired their coaches have been playing miles better than the weeks beforehand when they were about to make that move.
All right.
And even Penn State, they want to hire their guy. Anytime you give LSU an Louisiana coach, though, like Coach O, their current interim Louisiana native, they get that much better. LSU just gets that much better. The crowd and the fans are more behind it. Like there's more of a storyline now with LSU than there has been all season. Other than that, Brian Kelly and Garrett Nussmeier suck.
Yeah.
That's been the consensus until just now. So, like last weekend was like the only time LSU had any sort of hype on the season at all.
All right. Well, our final little matchup that we got to cover here, was a classic Pac-12 rivalry renewed. Oregon, USC. Man, watching this game just makes me so angry that the Pac-12 dissolved, man. This was just taking me back to the glory days of the old Pac-12, man. I'm gonna miss that. That was my favorite conference in football.
They're bringing it back, and like the teams that are in there, it's just looking like it's gonna be another Mountain West type of conference.
They should call it the State 8 because it's 8 teams, not all state schools. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, it's Fresno State, Washington State, Oregon State, Colorado State,
Boise State, Fresno State.
And I think also, not for football, but for basketball, Pac-12 is going to be adding Gonzaga next year.
Yeah. So, but for football, it's the State 8 and Gonzaga as a non-football school. But man, like, it's just these were some classic matchups. Like, I mean, this was another good one. Oregon did win it by multiple scores, 42-27.
They just controlled that time of possession.
Yeah. I mean, their defense showed up too, making some big plays, forcing some turnovers. I mean, USC still moved the football a lot. And I mean, like that was what I was expecting this one. These are two really great offenses here. And so what you were looking for is what defense could generate some takeaways, some swing plays. It was also a total flag fest. Each team in this game had like over 100.
Yeah, it was penalty
yards. Yeah, insane here. 436 total yards of offense for Oregon, 382 for USC. The Trojans just like really had no run game to speak of in this one. King Miller, weird. He was bottled up.
3Ms.
Yeah, I mean the 3Ms
the guy.
Were kind of quiet, bro. Mekhi Lemon, they were really directing a lot of coverage to him. To be fair, so it was, some other guys stepped up. Jacoby Lane, who he's been really good for them too. He's been underrated. He'll probably be a later round draft pick, but I think he could still be a very high quality NFL player. And then Tanu Kynes, man.
He cooked up, man. He cooked up.
Lemon did score 2 touchdowns. He only had 34 yards, though.
Lemon got the ball anytime that they saw him in a one-on-one coverage.
Basically, that was what they were.
Like short red zone throws, like the 2 touchdowns. That's when they went towards him. But like any other play, I feel like he just wasn't a part of how they're gonna get the offense going, because he was seeing like double, sometimes triple coverage out there on the field. It was just all eyes on him and Miller. I mean, it was a really good game plan. Kind of like you were saying, the 3Ms, like the Oregon Ducks were just watching the 3Ms. Just made sure those guys didn't win the game for USC. And he forced Mayava to throw 43 passes.
I'm over here watching Kenyon Sadiq play and daydreaming about him being in orange and blue, man. Dude, whatever team gets this guy, because Oregon's tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, they're going to have a real gem. He is, I mean, Dan Lanning just uses him so creatively. And he has just got such incredible athleticism. I mean, last year in the Big Ten Championship, hurdling a defender on his way to a touchdown.
Makes you forget he's even the tight end.
Yeah,
he's kind of lined up everywhere.
Right. I mean, he plays like a wide receiver, but he's got the size of a tight end. I haven't watched too many reps of him blocking, so I'll have to see how he is there. But God, as a receiver, man, this guy, I mean, you put him in the right NFL play caller's hands, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. 6'3", 245. He's got great speed. Yeah. Great hands. We mentioned the athleticism. I just don't think that the Broncos are going to be low enough in the draft order to be able to get a guy like this.
I know it's going to be tough for you guys to try and make a move on one of these dudes unless you trade up, because you guys will probably be in one of those playoff draft picks in the first round, like late 20s, early late 20s.
Right. Like he to me is like almost a fringe. Maybe I'm overvaluing it, but he seems almost like a fringe top 20 or top 10 pick. Yeah, at least top 20. I could see him going around like that. Kind of similar range that Brock Bowers went.
It's a good resurgence for tight ends in the league, in the NFL. We got Tucker Kraft, RIP, who's ACL. But Tucker Kraft is having a great year. Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, Kittle's healthy. Getting a good resurgence of tight ends in the NFL. I like it.
Yeah. Dante Moore in this game. Let's talk about him a little bit. Did have one turnover, which was trying to make a little too much happen. But I think besides that, again, just super efficient. Only 8 incompletions, 257, 2 touchdowns. He was on time, on target. A lot of really just good looking balls. I think this game was just big for him in the multitude of ways of helping his draft stock if he does decide to go. I think he's a junior. So he's only a sophomore, so he'll probably.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he'll be back.
I mean, good year for a sophomore. Pretty much going to make the playoffs with your team here. Got a really good run game for him to lean on.
It's just showing, like, I like all the confidence that he's been playing with recently. And it's just, Oregon's going to probably have a really tough matchup in round 1. And so this is definitely going to be – this was just a huge win for them in general. To potentially bump them back up into, like, the top 6, top 5,
yeah,
which does all of a sudden, maybe gives you a chance to get that group of 5 school or something. And I don't know. I just feel like they do deserve an easier first round matchup because it's like they have an undefeated season, get the bye week and everything. And what's your reward for that is coming out of the bye week. You've got to play a red hot Ohio State team.
Yeah, like that's
Then
terrible.
You're almost a month off from football. Like it just.
Like that's bad. Like last year, having the month off affected Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
It affected them pretty badly.
I'm interested to see how it is for those teams that get the bye because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't all but like one of them lose coming out of the bye? Because Boise State was one of them. They got Penn State.
Yeah, Boise State lost to Penn State.
Oregon lost to Ohio State. It was Georgia lost to Notre Dame, didn't they?
Yep.
Georgia had the other bye. Then who was that third team? Was it?
Well, Arizona State.
Were they on the bye or didn't they have to play round 1?
I think they had the bye. They were the 3.
It wasn't Texas that was the 3? Well, let me do a quick.
No. They had to play Texas after that bye. So Texas did end up winning that though.
Who did Texas play round 1?
I think Texas got. Oh man, who did they play?
I'm pulling up the bracket. I don't remember exactly how it looked. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You are. Texas had Clemson round 1. That's right.
Oh yeah, and Arizona State got the bye.
It was Arizona State. So yeah, like literally every team with the bye last year lost. Was that a crazy coincidence, or is the bye too long? The kind of rest versus rust theory.
Well, I think they're making it a little different this year. I think
that Arizona State game was the only one possession game of those.
Yeah, it was all blowouts.
Penn State 31-14 over Boise, Notre Dame 23-10 over Georgia, 41-21 over Ohio State over Oregon. Be interesting to see how it goes down this year.
It's honestly set up though, so some teams are going to get a really hard game, but I think it's going to be a little bit more even with who's getting those bye weeks where we got like good matchups across every round of this playoff. Like I don't think we're going to be seeing a first round bye team getting blown out. They might lose, but I don't think it'll be any blowouts in this playoff. Unless whoever's playing Tulane, probably might blow them out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Tulane's sneaky. They might hang in there. All right. Well, moving on, we're going to actually we got to break down some of the matchups in the ACC next week, and mainly between these one-loss teams. So
it makes your entire playoff right there.
Yeah. You've got Virginia. In-state rivalry, they are hosting Virginia Tech, who's been pretty bad this year. Again, though, it's a rivalry game, so I don't I always give, even if it's a huge talent disparity, at least a puncher's chance.
There's always a fighter's chance in rivalry week.
Mm-hmm. And so, but Virginia sitting at 6-1 in the ACC, looking good. You've got Pitt taking on Miami. So Miami can help themselves out by taking out Pitt. That Pitt will be hosting them, so it's a road game for the Hurricanes. Their best shot is – I got to look at their schedule just see. I mean, honestly, their best shot, though, is they need Virginia to lose. Even if they beat Pitt, they're going to need Virginia to lose because one of their losses is to SMU. And so,
so they won't even be able to jump them unless
even if
Virginia-
SMU loses, Miami's not going to beat or not going to jump
Yeah, no.
SMU just virtue of head-to-head tiebreaker. They both have the same conference record, even though Miami would be 9-3 and SMU would be 8-4. And then
So they really need every team above them to lose.
Right.
Miami.
So Pitt, obviously, they got to just win, and let's see who their one loss is. If they beat Miami,
Louisville,
one conference loss is to Louisville, who's out of it. So they've got nothing to worry about in terms of head-to-head tiebreakers. They should be all right. Now, Georgia Tech, if you're Georgia Tech, you're going to need a couple of things to happen. You're going to need, obviously, Pitt to lose. Or maybe you need Pitt to win, and then everyone else lose. That's where this chaos comes in. I don't even know if Georgia Tech can statistically make it now.
Yeah. It's like they're the top team the whole year. Drop one game, and you might not even have a chance to get back into it. And there's not even like a tiebreaker on any of these three teams. It's just
right. Pitt hasn't played. Tech hasn't played SMU or Virginia.
they might not make it to the ACC championship only because of that Pitt game.
Yeah, that could have effectively done in their season.
And then a 3-loss team going into your conference championship. What if it's Pitt, Virginia? Virginia gets the win. Then what does that even do for the college football playoff? Does a 3-loss Pittsburgh make the ACC winner spot? Are they going to guarantee a ACC winner if it's a 3-loss team?
Well, they have to put in the 5 highest ranked conference champions. That's one of the bylaws of the playoffs.
Okay.
It'll probably be whoever the winner of the ACC is.
That honestly might put the ACC winner at the 12 seed. And that whoever wins the American go and be the 11. Which screws BYU even more.
Dude, it's interesting because SMU's got Cal, right? But Cal's not a bad team. Cal could pull off an upset there. It's a road, they got to go to Cal too. That's going from Texas all the way to Berkeley. It's going to be that'll be difficult for sure. So I'm looking at this all right, let's say every one of these one-loss teams loses. So now, and then Georgia Tech, Miami, and Duke all win. It's like Georgia Tech's played an extra. No, they're done. They've played all their conference games, so
they just have that Georgia game.
So they're going to be 6-2 no matter what. So we could have. There's a possibility that we have 6 teams that are sitting at 6-2. Don't think it'll come down to that. A sane world wants to say that it's going to be Virginia, SMU, or SMU, Miami. Those seem like the 2 most likely outcomes. Maybe Pitt, or I just feel like Miami probably beats Pitt, which is why I have them a little more likely to be in there. But good.
I don't even know if I could say that Miami beats Pitt after that last game. They put 42 points on Georgia Tech.
Who's SMU's only lost to? Wake Forest, of course.
Yeah, Wake Forest by a point.
What the hell? ACC, dude. What are we doing?
They
So
lose to Wake Forest, like the worst team in the conference almost. Well, no, they're 4-3. But then they go and they upset Miami the very next week. This ACC's been weird, man. It's been weird.
their only loss, who said that was to Louisville. And then Virginia, their only loss is also to Wake Forest. So, if let's say all three of them win, how do you determine? Is it by record? Like, do you go off of like, okay, who's got like conference losses? Like, who's got the better record? And then at that point, maybe like if Louisville, you'd be rooting for Louisville to lose to Kentucky if you're Virginia and SMU. And then you're rooting for Wake Forest to beat Duke. And then obviously you're rooting for Wake Forest to lose if you're Pittsburgh. Oh man, dude, how are they going to determine this?
Yeah,
like the easiest scenario is that just like one out of the three loses and the other two win. But that there's a possibility that it's not like that. There's a possibility we're looking at 6-2 teams. There's a possibility that there's at least 3 7-1 teams in the conference.
Yeah.
Then
it really comes down to like just all the little things. They can't do it on record. It's going to be strength of schedule. It's going to be
point
like
differentials,
points allowed. Yeah, they're going to look at all those tiny little details now. That all these records are it's going to be like this close of a race.
I don't know how I do not want to be the people that have to pick this out.
So if SMU's out over a loss to Wake Forest, you lost by 1 point. That's the most heartbreaking way to have your season end. Like, man, we couldn't just beat Wake Forest.
Isn't it crazy? Like, SMU got kind of written off at the beginning of the schedule, and here they are again with a chance to make
back at the top,
to win the ACC and make the CFB, man. Absolutely nuts. This conference made way more sense when like Dabo, Sweeney, and Clemson were just winning it every year.
I know.
They have a down year, and it's just absolute chaos out of this conference. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to track. I do not envy whoever's got to pick this up. All right. Well, it's been a few weeks since we've done this game, and what do you say we now with some new changes? Let's drop some new predictions for potential conference matchups. Starting with the American, I'm still leaning towards the top here with Tulane,
and North Texas.
Yeah, Tulane's got to close out their season against 1-10 Charlotte. Feels like a give me there. North Texas closing out their year with a 5-6 Temple team. Both are home games too. Yeah, I think it's a North Texas Tulane conference championship.
It sucks for Navy.
Yeah,
because they've actually had a good year. 6-1.
At least I know they end the year with Army, but they have another game against Memphis. That's on the road, which I could see that turning into a loss potentially.
Yeah,
for the midshipmen, that's why I'm dropping them. That.
It's the only place they've lost games.
Dude, I'm kind of leaning North Texas, though, man. I don't know, man. Me and Green, bro. I like this team a lot.
Tulane's got a little bit more of the spotlight. We haven't seen much of North Texas at all this year. Really at all.
North Texas, they just can put up points, dude. They have scored over 50. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times this season they've scored over 50. They scored over 40 with 5 or 6 50 times, and then one more time against Army. I mean, they've only scored their lowest point total this entire season is 31 points against Navy. That's the lowest amount of points. They're like leading the country in points per game. They're averaging 46 points per game. And they're
with that team
passing yards. Dude, Drew Metzger, man. I think he's leading the country in passing yards, actually.
Let's check that profile. Oh, yeah. I mean, you might as well just throw that team in there. They're
explosive. They'll be fun. They'll be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll definitely be the more exciting team.
11 and 1, 12 and 1 potentially if they win the American. Yeah, so I'm leaning more North Texas on this one. I like a lot of stuff what Tulane's done this year, but I don't know, dude, the mean green. I just like the sound of that too.
The mean green and the green wave.
I just want to see him under the lights. Let's get the mean green in there. All right, the ACC. We're gonna just pass on this because it's been we were discussing it.
Yeah,
it's too crazy. I guess the most likely we said was Virginia, SMU. I would go, I guess, Virginia to come out of that. But again, too crazy. Big 12, I'm liking
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech and BYU. I think they close it out. Well, honestly, I think Texas Tech wins again. That team is like a national title contender. That oil money doing some great things here. All right, Big 10. I'm getting froggy here. I'm saying I'm saying Indiana and Oregon. I'm saying the Buckeyes lose to Michigan.
And
I think Oregon's probably got the tougher strength of schedule just against conference opponents. Because you look at that, at this point, then their best conference win is Illinois, who's now 7-4, 4-4 in conference for Ohio State. I guess actually it'd be Washington, who's not even ranked at 8-3, and even Washington's been looking rough. But I think Oregon would also have beaten Washington. I believe they beat Illinois. I could be wrong about that. So I'm calling the upset. I think it's happening another year. Ohio State gets upset, and it's Oregon, Indiana. Yeah, Oregon's got some. I mean, the Penn State win obviously isn't looking that great, but they've beaten Iowa. If they beat Washington, they beat USC, who's up there. A little bit better resume. Just some slightly tougher competition. Neither school's really had super difficult schedule. The same thing with Indiana. I mean, Indiana beat Oregon, which is their big one. And then they got Illinois was really their other challenge. They just whooped them.
That was after a couple good weeks from Illinois. They fell off a cliff after that Indiana game.
Yeah. It's like the bounce back win against USC. They went cold. All right. So I'm going Oregon, Indiana. But
I like that.
Give me the Ducks to get some revenge.
Oh, Oregon winning the Big 10.
Having some fun with it. Although that would probably be bad for them putting them back in the first round bye situation.
True. That two teams play Ohio State and Indiana without a bye week. Oh, hell no.
All right, Conference USA. Looking at it here. Let's see.
I'm gonna say Kennesaw State.
Say the Owls coming out. Yeah, I like that. Kennesaw State. I'm going to give Missouri. I say Missouri State does sneak back in there though somehow, because Jackson. Actually, no. It's going to probably be Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State. I feel like Western Kentucky loses at Jacksonville State. That's their final game of the season. And so that would put Jacksonville and Kennesaw State.
I wish Missouri State did not lose those 2 home games and put themselves up. I'm pretty sure their 2 conference losses were 2 home games.
Let's see here.
This is their first year in the FBS. That would have been a really cool story for them to make the conference championship.
Yeah, their one was a road game at Kennesaw State. The other one was at home against Western Kentucky. So, I mean, they really great season. It sucks they can't make a bowl game, man.
Yeah.
Really great season. I mean, your only 2 losses were outside of, USC and SMU were the top 2 of the top 3 teams in your conference. I mean, great first year. It just sucks to be in a bowl game. Give me the Owls though of Kennesaw State. All right, the MAC, man. We got here Western Michigan leading the fray.
Ooh.
I'm going. Who's Western Michigan ending this season with though? That's the question. Eastern Michigan. They're pretty bad. So, all right, Western Michigan probably gets in there. I'm going to go with Ohio getting back in there, and they're going to win it, though, their second year in a row. They still got that quarterback, Parker Navarro. That's been he's, again, playing really well this season.
Killing it.
Give me the Bobcats. Toledo's been a fun team this year, though, too. All right, the Mountain West.
Going San Diego State, man. They've been really dominant.
Who do we think they play? Probably Boise.
Honestly, I think it might be San Diego State, New Mexico. Who does Boise State play in the last week?
They ended with Utah State, who hasn't been terrible. I see what you're saying.
Utah State, and then...
Yeah, I'm still leaning towards Boise making it, but I'm going with...
Oh, yeah. It's probably going to be Boise and San Diego State. New Mexico's last game is against San Diego State. So it really could be Boise, New Mexico.
All right. Pac-12 championship is this weekend. I guess
2-9 versus a 5-6 team.
If Washington State wins, they're both 1-1. Do they both just have to split the Pac-12 championship? How the hell does that work?
At that point, you don't even really have a winner. Yeah, like split the series, and you're both really, really bad.
So, co-champions,
points allowed in the country.
Man, brutal what they did to that conference. The Pac-12 was. I think it was like the most fun conference to watch because it was just like so many high-flying offenses. High octane,
like late night
shootouts, man. Like, it was just like a great way to cap off your day.
Like it's hard.
The greed and incompetence, they murdered it. We'll never get it back, man. It sucks.
Now it's just going to be a bunch of random state teams.
All right. SEC, I think I'm going A&M finishes off. They're going to beat Texas, I think. I think it's going to be A&M Georgia. I really do. Yeah. I wanted to say like maybe Ole Miss or someone.
I mean, if Georgia loses to Georgia State or Georgia Tech,
I just don't see it happening, man. I don't know, like the way
Georgia Tech played against Pitt.
It's just the trajectory of the two teams. Like Georgia has been getting better and better each week. Like, and I think like they're starting to play like every game, like all 3 phases, they've been very complete.
Been playing their best football this year.
And then like Georgia Tech, it's just like been less and less consistent. You've got like more wild turnovers. The defense hasn't been playing as well. The special teams has kind of just been meh. And it's like, I mean, like Georgia's just cooking. Like the defense has been great all year. Gunnar Stockton, this offense have really been.
They've been cooking.
A lot.
They've been firing.
I mean, yeah, like also just like the coaching the past few weeks. Like I watching Steve Sarkisian and his staff just get laps.
Lapped by Kirby
Smart and his
nothing
staff
they could do.
Coaching circles around them. I mean, it was, building a house with reinforced steel versus Lincoln logs type of.
Yeah. It's a reason he's got so many national championships with Georgia. I think 4 or 5.
I
is how many games he's won.
I think it'll be another close one, but I think Georgia just is going to make less mistakes and be more consistent. And so with that, yeah, they're gonna win, and they've got the head-to-head over Ole Miss, who I think would be their best.
That would be the next up team,
to get them.
It's only other one loss. Team Alabama lost to.
They lost to Oklahoma. So I guess if Bama wins, do they get to jump Georgia?
Those teams?
Well, honestly, I kind of think Alabama loses, dude. They're going to Auburn. That statement said that stadium is haunted, dog.
That's
Auburn's
like the last place.
Dude, they've got nothing to lose, dog. They have nothing to lose. And like Alabama has really been looking shaky on the offensive side of the ball. And so like I'm just like the perfect recipe for success is like turning it over. And like Bama has had a lot of ball security issues. So the perfect recipe for failure rather for Alabama and for an upset is some big swing momentum turnovers. And Simpson, like I said, dude, he's been inaccurate.
That would send a shockwave in the playoff, dude. That would probably put in Vandy over Alabama.
Yeah.
I don't know. They got the head breaker on that one, so I don't know.
I've even seen some Alabama fans just talking about like they're like, I have no confidence in us in this game. Like a
win here too gets Auburn in a bowl game. They're 5-6.
Like they're really like they're playing for a bowl eligibility. I mean, more than anything, just to ruin Bama's season, just to nuke it. This could definitely, like, if a third loss here could nuke Bama's season from high orbit.
And it's one of the biggest rivalries in college football, the Iron Bowl. The perfect way for them to end their season with getting a huge upset on top 10 Alabama. Man.
Drop some comments. Tell us what you think is going to go down. And let's just run down some of these matchups that are going on in the top 25. Obviously, we got some rivalry games and everything. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, the in-state rivalry there. It's a road game for Ole Miss. Mississippi State needs one more win, bowl eligibility, potential trap game here. I would say, I'm give it like about 50% trap game warning meter right there. Utah going on the road to Kansas. Same situation for the Utes where it's like Kansas needs one more win for bowl eligibility. It's a road game there. So just,
and they've been playing.
Be careful if you're Utah. That's just what I'm saying there.
Yep. Jalen Daniels, despite being 5-6, he's still got 2,300 yards, 21 touchdowns, and only 4 picks. He's been having himself a pretty solid year. Just don't let another side of the ball gash you. It was the run game against Kansas State. Don't let Jalen Daniels just run this game on you and pass all over you.
This is all on Friday. Keep in mind, this is Black Friday football. So those are some of our morning games. That afternoon, Georgia Tech and Georgia will be playing. Could be, again, well, like that's really anyone's ball game with Tech hosting it. You've got Indiana, the in-state rivalry versus Purdue, but Purdue's god-awful. Texas A&M and Texas, that's going to be one of our nightcaps on Friday night at DK TKR Texas Memorial Stadium.
And here's a huge one. 8-3 Arizona against 8-3 Arizona State.
Yeah, that
This
game
is
really
actually a
shaped.
really good game.
I don't know if this will have a ton of like postseason implications, but
It'll
just
just be a great one.
it'll just be a really fun rivalry matchup. Two teams that are having really great seasons there. And then,
Arizona really could have had playoff implications on this if they took down BYU.
yeah,
They could be
Saturday
up
morning, we've got Ohio State, Michigan. The game,
Ooh.
I'm calling it. It's in the big house. We're going to Ann Arbor. It's happening. I smell an upset brewing here. I'm telling you. It's with how good Ohio State looked this year, but like they haven't really had super tough competition. I'm smelling the makings of a bloodbath here. Gonna be cinema. Texas Tech going to probably just demolish West Virginia rather. Pitt, Miami, we talked about this one extensively. Huge game for both teams. Pitt hosting the Hurricanes. You've got Houston playing Baylor. Not a whole lot of implications. I don't even know if Houston's going to necessarily be ranked next week. BYU taking on UCF. Oregon's got to go to Washington. Huskies have been good at home. Ducks are looking pretty solid, but definitely they should be on upset alert. Just be careful. Another be careful type of situation.
Only 6.5-point favorites.
Not a huge line for sure. Oklahoma hosting LSU. You've got Vanderbilt and Tennessee.
Ooh, that's actually
in-state
a really
rivalry
good
there.
There we go.
Tennessee really just a chance to play some spoiler hosting Vandy here. If I can't make it, neither can you type of situation. Keeping kind of zap their playoff hopes with a victory there. Missouri, who I don't know if they'll be ranked when the actual CFP rankings come out, going to play Arkansas on the road. Arkansas could be looking to pick up their first SEC win of the season. Virginia at home, looking to take care of business against Virginia Tech. Again, I think it's happening. Auburn, Alabama, Jordan-Hare Stadium it's a strange things happen here, man.
The Iron Bowl is going to be tough this year.
Auburn playing for bowl eligibility as well. So, yeah, watch out for the Tigers in that one. USC is going to be hosting UCLA for the Cali in-state rivalry. USC had a fun little 3-game insanity run, but they've been reality checked pretty hard for the most part. And then Illinois taking on Northwestern. Again, I don't know if Illinois is even going to be ranked when the new CFP rankings come out. And then you've got Tulane taking on Charlotte. Should be a good, easy home victory for Tulane. Notre Dame playing Stanford to cap off the night in Stanford. All right. Well, those are our top 25 matchups next week. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have the full new college football playoff rankings breakdown and take a look at the new projected bracket. We were certainly not happy with what we saw last week.
Yeah.
Will we be this week? I don't know. Will anybody ever truly be happy about what decisions the committee makes? Probably not. But make sure you stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and hit a quick music break. When we come back, we got a breakdown of all the action on NFL Sunday here on Till the Final Whistles Football Frenzy.
Take a moment, take your time, let it set right. Let it drive right down in your conscious tight. Lean into the better times. 'Cause in a minute, in a moment, you'll notice a shining light. One that draws you in from deep inside. Reach out and connect tonight. See let you see this world through brand new eyes. Reach out and connect tonight. You know my name. What colors do you see? Influence reality. Figures and shapes, life for you and me. Influence reality. Why won't you wake up? 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 You know my Figures and shapes, life for you and me. Influence reality. Why won't you wake up? 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 Why won't you wake
Penalty on YOU. Delay of game. 5 seconds before the show. But hey, thanks for watching.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
This on the web at nbradio.net.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. Once again, back for our NFL breakdown of the week. If you just missed it, we just gave you a college football breakdown of the top 25, what's going on in every conference, all those matchups, and all that good stuff, and a little preview of what's going on next week. Last week, man, we all picked the Saints. We'll get to that one, but let's just go through the rundown here, man. We made some terrible decisions on our pick'em.
Yeah, I made a dumb last-minute call to switch my Chiefs pick to the Colts. It was looking great until the Colts choked that game away. All right. Thursday night, the Texans just beat the hell out of the Bills. I mean, there's really no other way to
crazy, dude.
to put it. Yeah. Davis Mills, the long neck legend, back in there again.
Dude.
Getting another victory for the Texans, who are clawing their way back into the playoff conversation little by little. 23-19 victory on prime time over the Bills. All right. Steelers and Bears gave us a very entertaining game.
This one was a sick one.
Yeah.
I wish Aaron Rodgers would have played.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Some people are saying he was ducking the Bears. He was walking around Soldier Field flipping fans off, but only using his right wrist, not his left one. So unclear if he would have been able to go anyways. But yeah, the Bears come out.
He was flipping off the NFL camera crews.
Yeah, he did not.
Terrible mood.
He did not care. But you got the Bears coming out on top again, sitting in sole possession of first place of the NFC North.
Packers better not lose to the freaking Bears.
I think it's year one of the Caleb Johnson, or I mean the Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams experiment's going pretty well.
Going well.
I mean, he's been playing all right, but this defense and all the takeaways that they generate is the real story. We'll get into that in just a minute. And the Patriots got into a little bit of a closer matchup than I would have expected with the Bengals, but ultimately Drake May and the gang win their 9th straight first team to actually hit double-digit wins this season as well. They have another bye week, which is the main reason why. But 9 straight victories after starting the year 1-2. They are rolling to they're 10-2 right now. They get a 26-20 victory over the Bengals. All right, this Giants Lions game was sick. We had over 1,000 yards of total offense. If you had to play Jahmyr Gibbs this week, I'm very sorry for you.
Sorry, Jimmy.
55 fantasy points is nuts. Jameis Winston caught a touchdown pass and threw for 366 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson career game. Oh, so much to get into.
Everybody was calling that game. So much to break down.
We'll have that coming up here soon. All right, dude. 9 was feeling dangerous against the Packers. 87 passing yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He made Jordan Love's. He really covered up Jordan Love's,
Yeah, he made Jordan Love's game look good.
139-yard performance. That got really swept under the rug. But there was Emmanuel Wilson. He's a big star in the Packers defense. The big stories in this one. Wilson getting the shout with Josh Jacobs injured. 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just a touches machine in this one. He had 28 carries in the game. And the Packers defense getting tons of sacks on J.J. McCarthy. This game a lot closer than I expected. Seahawks, Titans. Cam Ward, man, kind of surprising that this is where his best game as a pro. I would say he really played, man. 256 passing yards, a touchdown. He also had, I think, 57 rushing yards in the touchdown. Just wild that against this Seahawks defense that's like been top 5 in almost every major statistical category going up against the offense that gives up the most sacks in the NFL and had like 1 offensive touchdown in the past 2 weeks. This is where Cam Ward would finally get going, and Van Jefferson was the number 1 receiver.
That's just crazy, though.
I'm just salty because in a super flex league, instead of playing Cam Ward, I put in Tyrod Taylor. Picked him instead. For all the reasons I just listed off, I didn't think Cam Ward was going to be super.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought there was going to be a number of turnovers, especially with the rate Seattle was taking the ball away, and they just held Matthew Stafford of all quarterbacks to 130 passing yards the week prior. What do I know? It's the NFL.
Yeah.
Can't predict
anything can happen.
Yeah. Seahawks do hold on to win 30-24. Kansas City Chiefs were down 20-9 in the fourth quarter, orchestrated the comeback to end up tying that game back up. And going into overtime, KC kicks the game-winning field goal off of the leg of Harrison Butker. Yeah, Rice and Mahomes got going late in this one, and Colts just did not have an answer for it. And Kansas City did a fairly good job of bottling up Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
23-20. Chiefs win. They're hanging in there in the hunt for the playoffs. You got the Baltimore Ravens were hosting the New York Jets. Not honestly the best day out of the Ravens offense. They were looking fairly sloppy. Derrick Henry does score 2 touchdowns, and the Ravens get the 23-10 victory. Shador Sanders getting his first ever start as a Cleveland Brown. It was mostly the Quinshaw Junkins and Browns defense showed Judkins with 2 touchdowns.
He was a wildcat half this game.
Sacks. They were the real story in this one. Shador's only touchdown pass, Dylan Sampson did all the work. It was a 66-yard screen pass touchdown. But he played a fairly good game, had some impressive throws, and limited the turnovers. I think he only had 1 interception in this one. So he let his dominant defense didn't make their jobs any more difficult. First Browns starting quarterback to ever win.
To win the debut.
Start.
Ever.
They're now 1-17, 24-10.
Every
Browns
team passed on this dude. Every single team passed up on this dude. And he goes out He he didn't have the greatest game. Leaned on a defense and on a running game.
Yeah, but honestly, off of 1 week of practice on the road, I mean, very limited mistakes, some impressive throws. I mean, Jerry Jeudy tried to sell him. I don't know what. Like, he made a great
I don't know
rollout
what he's
pass
doing.
to Jeudy and
He
just
stopped running.
Just
He was,
stopped
like,
running.
skipping.
Gets the ball punched out. I mean, that was the easiest punch out Jeremy Chin's going to ever have in his life. We'll discuss more of the Browns game here in just a moment. The Jaguars and the Cardinals gave us an overtime thriller. Jacoby Brissett, again, putting up some big numbers, threw for 49 passing attempts in this one. And again, Michael Wilson with another big performance. But then the Jags have kind of been the cardiac cats. They get into a lot of close games. For the most part, they've been finding ways to win them. Another
Just not against
overtime
Houston.
victory here in the afternoon window in the desert. Eagles looked like they were on their way to a rolling victory in Jerry World, up 21-0 early. But the boys never gave up. And
There was no quit
Dak,
in this team.
yeah, Dak tossed 2 touchdowns, ran for another one on his day. He had a really big day this week. They stormed all the way back, scoring 24 on the answer to get a 24-21 victory. And as we'll discuss this more when we come back to this game, I'm just throwing out a hot take. George Pickens is the best wide receiver on the Cowboys.
Dude, Put
that in your pipe.
What's wrong with CD Lamb?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. How about that?
What's wrong with CD Lamb, dude? He hasn't been
all
right. Passes left and right.
Cayman, I'm going to save this one for the last section. We're going to skip over that. So going to Sunday Night Football, the Rams just dominated the Buccaneers 34-7. 31 of those 34 coming in the first half. Stafford was, just looking unstoppable. Rams are looking like Super Bowl favorites right now. Dominating victory over the Buccaneers, 34-7. Baker, how serious is that injury? We'll see.
Yeah, he hurt himself on one of those throws.
They got some help from the 49ers, though, who defeated their closest division rival, Carolina Panthers, 20-9 on Monday Night Football. Despite all the turnovers for the Panthers, their defense played a really great game. Robert Saleh is coaching those guys up really well. McCaffrey and Kittle came up big in the
Their
victory.
defense is insane.
Yeah, 20-9. Panthers or 49ers defeat the Panthers. But we'll start here because I know you probably have a lot to say about this game. 24-10 home loss for the Saints, taking on the Drake London and Michael Penix-less Atlanta Falcons. It was the Kirk Cousins show in this one. Okay, man, break it down for us.
Saints, man. Really, really, really inconsistent week from our offense again. Nothing in the run game. And it's really because we abandoned it. Kamara got hurt on a weird tackle. He went down and got completely folded in half. Got an MCL sprain. So his season's probably done. And for some reason, we didn't go to actual running back. We just kept playing Taysom Hill and giving Taysom Hill carries anytime we ran the ball. Honestly, I can't even lie. Shuck had some pretty good throws and got in a pretty decent rhythm in the passing game to Olave to actually get us down the field. We were getting down the field and got in the red zone multiple times in this game. But when we're in a situation when we needed to run the ball, we lined up in wing T formation, and we're literally running like a 1960s offense. I don't know if you watched this game at all, but our red zone offense was wing T. We were doing QB We were doing like QB sweep run plays where like he faked a handoff to Taysom Hill and then rolls out left as a runner and follows him as a blocker. Like, I don't know if you know this, man. Tyler Shuck doesn't have breakaway speed like that.
He's not very fast.
Like, he's got some speed, but he's not that fast.
Like, he can scramble, but like designing runs for him, I just don't know
A
about
read
that.
option or two. I get it. We were literally going into wing T and handing the ball off. Like, we have Devin Neal. What do we draft Devin Neal for if he's going to get 7 carries when everyone else is injured?
I mean, they were just like handing the ball off to Hill out of the backfield. And it's like, I mean, what do you like? They're like trying to run like halfback dive plays with Taysom Hill. It's like, guys,
That's stupid.
The defense sees Taysom Hill's out there. Like, if you're just going
They know
to
he's getting
right
the
up
ball.
the middle with him,
If
we're
Taysom Hill's on the
obviously got
field,
eyes on him.
exactly. If Taysom Hill's on the field, he's getting the ball. Or you'd have a pretty solid offensive possession going, and then next thing, there's a TV timeout. They come back, and Taysom Hill is under center. And he only threw 2 passes in this game, but again, anytime he was on the field, the defense knew that it was going to be a run play. It didn't matter if he got the ball or not. They just knew it was going to be ran. We were so one-dimensional. I don't even know why we were so close to the end zone multiple times. We're not going to go out in a high formation. We want to bring it back to the 60s, man. Let's go power run, not wing T. Felt like I was really watching a middle school team out there. Like, what the?
It was some questionable play calling, though.
We screwed a pretty solid game from our defense. We had a pick 6 in the freaking first half. The game's 10-7. And we have nothing going for our offense. We can't even do anything.
Yeah.
We couldn't even get the ball downfield.
It's like the same story where they just cannot run the football to any degree of success.
No. Well, I mean, this one, just a complete abandon of it. I wouldn't even call what we were running a run game. I wouldn't even call that bull crap a run game.
Well, it's like, what happened to just like good power football? It's like they're trying gimmick runs for the most part. It's like, why don't you just like try like, you know, establishing the run, like just some in between the tackles type of stuff, you know, maybe a few pitches, get a running back outside or trying to go downhill, you know.
Because I don't know if it might be harsh to say it, man, but Taysom Hill is also getting a little bit older. Like, in those gimmick runs, had opportunities, like if he just hit the gap, like might have gotten a few extra yards. But like, man, it just felt like he was just running into the back of the offensive lineman and hoping that the pile was going to get pushed. Instead of just like putting your head down and running the football. It felt like he was kind of just waiting for something to happen. Instead of being the one, he always initiated contact. He was running through people, running over people. It didn't look like a quarterback. Like playing all sides on 3 sides of the ball. You know,
yeah, I think you should get to the point where, like, again, like his whole Swiss Army Man thing is not really working that much anymore because it's like teams know that they're going to try to get him the ball, and also he's just like too. Like you said, he's getting older. Maybe he's just not. He's lost some of that power, that explosiveness that he used to have that made him a little bit more of a weapon.
So I can't even lie. Like, if we had a solid game from our offense, I mean, just getting in the end zone once, our 3 red zone opportunities were all inside the 5-yard line. That's how close we got. We had the very final opportunity we had when I just completely turned off red zone for the day. I was done with football after this one. 3rd and 1 on the opposing team's 3-yard line, and we ran shotgun with Taysom Hill, and the snap went over his head.
Oh my God, I remember that.
So that's why we have 3 points in the fourth quarter, because the ball got snapped back to like the 15, 20-yard line, and we just had to kick it with Groupie, who
And
surprisingly made that one.
Wasn't
The
it
dude
like a
kicked
17-7 game or something at that point? Like it was, you get a real opportunity to score and make that it was like 17-6 or 16-6, 7 rather.
It was 16-7 all the way up until the fourth quarter.
Right,
and
so you
we
couldn't score
had
the touchdown.
failed miserable red zone opportunities.
Yeah. Scoring a touchdown, making that a 2-point game. All of a sudden, all you need is a field goal to win it. Then, yeah, you got to settle for 3. And, like, the very next drive, I'm sure, I think, the Falcons hit like a bomb to Darnell Mooney. Go for 2, and now you're in a 14-point hole.
Yeah. I can't lie, though, man. We got to get some more receivers on this team. I think me breaking down the O linemen, like, we just got to get guys that are going to draw some, like, make the offense not one-dimensional. Taysom Hill's cool, but anytime he's on the field, he's getting the ball. So you just kind of, wherever he goes, follow that play. Chris Olave, like, our wide receiver room after we traded Shaheed and traded away, released Brandon Cooks, is Chris Olave, Devon Vele, Mason Tipton, and Dante Pettis.
So the GOATs. Yeah.
We have a wide receiver 1, and then some car salesmen. Like, Juwan Johnson's been making his contract worth this year.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid this season. He's probably your best receiving threat. It's just kind of crazy to say. He's just been the most.
I honestly think it's still Olave.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
He got a 3rd and 17 after a terrible holding penalty that, again, almost killed one of our drives. He saved one of our drives by running one of the best seam routes I've ever seen against this team. Like, got right into the gap in between the safety and the linebackers and just fired it in there for him. And another catch he had down the sideline on the same exact drive. Like, pretty much won the hand battle, got up and mossed the dude on the sideline, toe tapped it. I mean, we got a captain spot released after we got rid of Brandon Cooks. He's got to get one. It's been way too long since I think there's been great resurgence season for him. It's been way too long. I honestly thought he already had a captain patch.
That's kind of surprising he doesn't. Yeah, I agree with you. You guys need some weapons. Honestly, the offensive line might not be that bad. Might not. You just need some playmakers. The offense just lacks any identity. And like you talk about them being one-dimensional, like there are chunks of games where they seem zero-dimensional.
Yeah, it's like we can get a yard, we can get some yards or 2 on some plays, or like Chris Olave will run a nasty route and get open, and then that's kind of it for the drive. You get a few good plays, and it's like, all right, that's it.
Yeah. They're definitely going to need some weapons. Well, the bright side is, like, Atlanta might have beaten you, but you still own your first-round pick. So,
yeah, wherever we're picking, we're going to get that guy. It won't be going to another team. Flashing
back to Thursday night football here. Man, what is wrong with the Buffalo Bills? I've got a couple of theories. I don't think that they have a true number 1 wide receiver. I guess it's Khalil Shakir, but the problem is I just think, like, these wideouts, like Keon Coleman's struggling mightily, right? He is supposed to be that big body type of jump ball guy, and he just hasn't been there.
He isn't even.
I think the rest of their receivers, like, if you can just jam them at the line and you press them, and then you blitz Josh Allen, yeah, he can extend plays, but like their receivers are just too easy to lock up. And like, even though they ran the ball fairly well in this one, the Bills did, like, you can take away the threat of the run game a little bit from Buffalo, and this offense is really going to struggle.
Yeah.
And
Ty Johnson being the second leading receiver is just really scary. It's really scary for the rest of the season for them.
Will Anderson, dude, he had Brian Dawkins absolutely in hell. Former All-Pro Brian Dawkins was Dion Dawkins was just fighting for his life out there. And I don't even know who their tackle on the other end is, but that guy was blocking Danielle Hunter. Not a lot of success there either. 2.5 sacks for Anderson, 2 for Hunter. And I just want to – my Broncos didn't play this week, but if I could just glaze them a little bit. Our offensive line gave up 0 sacks to those 2 guys when we played the Texans. So
I mean, you guys got Protector of the Year candidates on your line, which may be the issue for Buffalo. Maybe that's what they need.
Yeah, Tim Settle picking up a sack as well. It's funny, like a lot of the good defenses in the league, they just have a lot of like their schemes are super complicated. And I mean, it's a lot of disguised looks, and it's, it's hard to tell who's blitzing, who's covering, and that's where they're very successful. Is that they're just like hard to read.
Angle.
Yeah, and then you have the Houston Texans, and they just kind of like beat the heck out of you, and that's pretty much their philosophy, dude. It's just like, I mean, they're just tossing people around. Where's it for? Kamari Lassiter, man. That guy's a cornerback. And the way he comes down and run fills and run support.
It's like a linebacker.
The speed, like, first of all, his speed and then the power he can hit with, that dude is like such a violent football player. That like Houston, I don't think their defensive scheme is all too complicated. I mean, a lot of time they just like to rush for and drop in the coverage because they can. And I mean, it just works. And it's like they like to just play a lot of man because you've got Lassiter, you've got Stingley. Like those guys, those are big, strong cornerbacks, both of them. And you know how I know Derek Stingley had an amazing game? He's not in the box score at all.
He's not even on the stat sheet.
Yeah. He didn't report a single tackle or pass deflection.
He just clamped a dude up the whole game.
That means he did not get thrown out of it.
You see that Keon Coleman's not on the receiving stat sheet.
Yeah. Did Coleman even play in this one, or was he like another healthy scratch? I don't even know.
Honestly, I think he did play.
Huh.
It might have been that's why Josh Palmer was getting more of the targets because Keon Coleman wasn't even in.
Yeah, I guess he didn't even see a target. Yeah,
like
the long
Collins getting healthy at the right time.
Yeah, that's huge for him.
He's looking really good.
Yeah, and Christian Kirk turned it into a nice little red zone target as well. They're getting just enough out of, I mean, you have the number one defense really in terms of points allowed, and they're like top 5 in total yardage and everything as well. I mean, I love my Broncos defense. I think the Texans defense might be.
That's the best in the league, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you look at everything they've done. They're probably the best in the league. And the offense is really what they're doing. They're just protecting the football, not committing a ton of penalties. You see in this one, I mean, they were god-awful on third down, right? 2 of 12.
Yeah, they couldn't.
They didn't gain a ton of yardage. They only had 261 total yards, but no turnovers, only 5 penalties. And some of those were on the defensive end anyways. This defense, I just completely overwhelmed Buffalo. 2 interceptions.
They found their new style. I think when CJ Stroud was playing, I think they kind of wanted to be like more of a revamped offense and like pass more and kind of get him in the pocket, get him going in rhythm. But like their offensive line wasn't really good enough.
I think they finally realized, like, hey,
lean on your defense, lean on the run game just a little bit.
Yeah, like we got to just try to run the ball more.
Even when Stroud is healthy, just run the ball more.
26 runs in this one, and it's just like, yeah, like their offensive line, I don't think has been very great in pass protection this year, but they've been fairly good, about average, around middle of the pack when it comes to running the football. You can get away with being average on offense when your defense is top 5.
When you're getting 8 sacks,
3 turnovers,
like
MVP,
we're seeing the
Josh
Broncos do
Allen.
the same thing. Have games where the offense doesn't look so great until maybe the fourth quarter or like the Raiders game. Like it was just lean on the defense. They can win the game for you too.
So Houston, I mean, that big win for them here. Buffalo is now the 7th seed in the AFC. And I mean, you've got, like, they've got the head-to-head advantage over Kansas City, but then you've got Houston, Baltimore creeping up behind you, or Pittsburgh, whoever ends up winning that. Baltimore actually retook the division with where we'll go for the next game. Their 23-10 victory over the Jets. Yeah, it was a win. They did a fairly good job of bottling up Breece Hall in the run game. He was the Jets' leading receiver with 75 yards. But the offense for Baltimore just not looking – it's just not super great. Henry was 64 yards on 21 carries. Yeah, he did have 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of an ugly game out of the Ravens offense. I mean, it's been ugly all year for the Jets, so I wasn't any surprise that they were playing ugly. But their defense really, which is kind of shocking to say that they're getting it turned around. They kind of carried them. Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton had huge games, each recording 10-plus tackles. And Draymond Jones, man, sneaky good addition for him. He had a sack and a half in this one. You had
up to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, he's been. Let's see if I can pull his stats since he joined the Ravens. Let's see here. He got to the team when they played Minnesota. Didn't have it, so he finally got his first sacks with the team. But yeah, he's starting to fill into that defensive line. Little unsung hero on this Ravens defense rather is Mike Green, the other linebacker.
Yeah, getting him
in the middle there with Roquan Smith. He's been really good.
Got a couple of QB hits in this one too.
I believe he's a rookie too, out of Marshall. Yeah, there's their second round pick, number 59. He really underrated player for him, and he isn't like jumping off the stat sheet, but they really like him. You just hear like Baltimore's got a lot of the organization's got a lot of good things from him. He's been, and he's just shown a lot of promise as like a coverage linebacker. He's a good blitzer, plays the run really well. So I mean, like, they might have really found themselves a stud there in a couple of years. Because if you're Baltimore, still, win's a win. You're back to first place in your division, and you got a very solid defensive performance going on out there.
They're gonna have to hope that they get their offense a little bit figured out. But I mean, we just win your division, keep stringing wins together. I feel like they got a good chance to figure something out here. Isaiah Likely's healthy. They've been finding some success with these weird, like, interesting plays with Mark Andrews, like in this tush-push formation. Like, they still got their skill players and their guys. Like, they just got to figure out what's going to work going down the stretch of the season.
Lamar missed a lot of time too, and like, so I think there's just some getting back into the flow of it. And like obviously he didn't get a lot of chances to practice while he was hurt or take live reps. And so I think you saw how they were rolling to start the season. I think they can get back to that.
Actually says he was listed as a non-participant in Monday's practice due to a toe issue.
See, and that's the other thing is like they want him to play, and I feel like he's just been sitting out more practices than usual. Well, I mean, they can do that when they're the Steelers are dropping games. I mean, Chicago, a really good team. Caleb, the accuracy issues are still there. He was kind of all over the place, 19 to 35. But, man, when he did connect on these passes, they were big. And he's gotten better about not taking sacks. Part of that is just his athleticism and elusiveness. But the one sack he did take was a pretty big strip sack fumble where TJ Watt passed his brother all time on the career.
It was right in the back of the end zone, too. Huh? They instantly scooped it up to score.
But 239 passing, 3 touchdowns. He had another 21 on the ground. Really good day out of him. I mean, he's been playing pretty well, I got to say.
The one thing I really like about the Bears right now is their defense, dude. Because they got Nahshon Wright,
was forced.
2 interception leaders on their team. Nahshon Wright and Kevin Byard both have 5 interceptions leading the league right now.
Right, those guys have been just ball hawks. And like it's not even like
CJ GJ out there. He's kind of rotational on their team, which is kind of helpful for them.
You know what's really scary about
the
Bears defense too is that their best corner hasn't even been healthy this year. Jalen Johnson,
he's not
barely played this season, and he's getting close to coming back. And Jalen Johnson last season was a top 5 corner in the league, easily.
Not to mention their guy out the edge, Jaquan Brisker is nasty. He's one of the best edge rushers in the league this year. Montez Sweat in the middle, stuff in the run for him. I mean, they've always got some pretty solid guys on their defense, and I think they're way better coached this year. Dennis Allen on the defensive side, Ben Johnson, and I'm not sure who their offensive coordinator is, but they've been coaching some great games. Like Bears it up has only been we've only had to say that a few times this year. Other than that, they've pulled off some pretty nice comebacks. Like games where their defense plays great. They're not Bearsing it up anymore.
Rome Odunze is looking like he's breaking out, like he's going to be looking like a star receiver. Colston Loveland, some question marks on them taking him so early, but like now that Kmet's been injured and they kind of got him more in the starting role, he's been playing super well. Picked up another touchdown in this one. And I don't forget, like DJ Moore is still in this team. He caught 2 touchdowns in this game. And I like Luther Burden also has shown a lot of flashes and explosiveness. So like right now, this team isn't even like it should like give you all the hope for the future too. Just with the Bears, like I mean, there's a lot of really impressive looking young talent on this squad. Manungai has been great for him this year. Good mix of like the power and change of pace back, but when they take between him and Swift. Quiet game out of Swift. The Bears didn't even really run the football all too well in this game, but they've been a really good team on the ground as well. Yeah, as the weeks go on, I'm feeling better and better about their chances to win the North. I really do. I mean, the thing is like even if they don't play great, I mean, they stay in the games and they find a way to win them.
They've got a pretty tough stretch of their schedule coming up. So on Thursday, they play the Eagles at 1 p.m.
That's Friday. They're playing them on Black Friday football.
Oh, that's on Friday. I thought that was... No. On Friday, they got the Eagles. Then they got the Packers in Lambeau. Then you got a pretty solid Browns pass rush. Again against the Packers in San Francisco. play the Niners, and then your last game against the Lions.
Yeah, definitely a really tough.
This is the proving grounds right here.
You gotta imagine that's what 6 games there about.
Yep.
I mean, you obviously want to come out of that with a winning record, but that's a difficult stretch. If you could go 500, 11-6, I think that would be huge. I mean, I think that would still give you a good chance to win the division. However, you did, you had 2 opponents really get some quality wins this week. We're going to go over to this Green Bay game because, I mean, honestly, there ain't a lot to cover here. This was just the Packers defense dominating the Vikings offense. Emmanuel Wilson just going crazy with the 107 and 2 touchdowns. Like we said, Love, man, he had, 139, no touchdowns. I mean, didn't turn the ball over, 14-21. The Packers just really wanted to keep it on the ground. They ran the ball 42 times, 28 of those with Emmanuel Wilson. The Vikings defense has still been playing pretty well. I mean, it was a grinded out 42 attempts. They only got 146 on it.
Yeah, they really had to fight.
What is insane here, Caveman? J.J. McCarthy had less fantasy points than Malik Willis, who played 3 snaps.
Oh, my God.
That's because 87 yards and 2 interceptions and only 10 rushing yards is negative 1.87, I believe. So Malik Willis, who scored points 3-2, something like that, had more fantasy points than
That's
Mr.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they didn't try
One of his
team
snaps was a kneel down because he had a 4-yard rush earlier in the game, and then he just took a knee to end it. So one of his 3 snaps was a kneel down, and he had more fantasy points than McCarthy.
What a W. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't try to attack the seam more. I mean, you got some good linebackers on the Packers, but they're not the greatest in coverage. McDuffie in coverage hasn't been the greatest this year. They're a great tackler. Edgerrin Cooper, not the greatest in coverage either. They had some opportunities to at least try to get something going. I feel like they just strayed away from anything that was really actually could have been on their game plan.
What somebody pointed out that I just can't help but see about J.J. McCarthy now is that he really kind of overcompensates to make sure he gets enough power on his throw because of his size, with his size and stature, but it results in so many wild passes that they're just sailing.
Or he'll underthrow it because he oversteps with his lead leg, so he can't actually turn his hips when he throws the ball. Mm-hmm. It forces him to use only his arm, kind of like when Dak first came into the league. What people would say about Dak's throwing motion, he would overstep with a lead leg on deep shots, and he wouldn't be able to really fully rotate his hips and everything to get the ball out. So it's relying all on his arm.
Now,
he can't throw that far because of his size and everything. He can't throw that far with just his arm, but he can if he really gets a good motion.
It's honestly impressive that he made Justin Jefferson, who fantasy players thought was quarterback proof, made him a non-viable start in fantasy.
Yeah, no.
Justin Jefferson. Dude, I had Justin Jefferson a few years ago carrying me and leading my team through the fantasy playoffs while Nick Mullins was his quarterback. And he was going out there and giving me 25 a game still.
Yeah. That was 2 seasons ago. When they literally had 3 or 4 different quarterbacks that season. Josh Dobbs won some games for them. Kirk Cousins was hurt and then went to the Falcons after. They were getting it done then. What
Cade
happened?
York is joining the Saints practice squad, Caveman, just the FYI.
Who did you say?
Cade York. They're
Oh, okay. Well,
We're passing on Justin Tucker. The news just dropped.
it's probably going to be our kicker.
All right. Well, yeah, dude. McCarthy, you can't the corniness is just backfiring on them. Mean mugging after that one win, saying, "Oh, I call my alter ego 9." And you in the EPA per drop back era, that there's 862 total quarterbacks whose EPA per drop back has been tracked in this advanced stats era. He is 861st out of 862.
He's only
It's a limited sample size. Guess who the only quarterback behind him is?
Who?
Jamarcus Russell.
Oh,
The biggest bust in NFL history.
JJ. Oh, man.
All right. Lions, Giants.
That's tragic. This was the game of the year right here.
Oh, my God. Pure
This team,
cinema, man.
the
Jameer
Giants
Gibbs,
scored 2 touchdowns on trick plays.
they did. And
One
this
of them
was
was a passing touchdown to your quarterback.
this was peak Jameis Winston. Let's just 50% completion percentage, but he still put up 366 yards. He had 2 passing touchdowns, just head scratching interception. He caught a touchdown and he kind of lost the defender, then broke a tackle and went into the end zone.
He big bodied the guy. He stiff armed him.
Which, I mean, Jameis is a big dude. He's 6'4", 6'5", something like that. 6'4", 231. He's a big
cornerbacks.
bro. And he just big bodied them, went into the end zone. Wan'Dale Robinson had a career game with 9 grabs, 156 yards, and a touchdown. And then, in overtime, Jameis gets sacked after holding on to the ball too long. I guess it was 4th down. You had to make sure you made a play there. And then on the other side, dude, Gibbs stole the show, but it wasn't like Goff played bad, dude. He was 28 of 42 for 279 yards. Amon-Ra had matched Wan'Dale Robinson pretty well. 9 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. Jameer Gibbs had 11 receptions. I knew he had only 45 receiving yards.
No, that's why he was a PPR legend. That's 11 points just off the catches.
Just padding the numbers there. Plus 219 yards. I think both of his touchdown runs were over 60 yards. They were both at least over 50. No, I believe they were both
taken off down the sideline.
And the one in overtime, 69 yards. He hits that second level. Remember when everyone was freaking out that the Lions drafted him? They're like, "Oh, why would we do this? That's not a position of need for them," and that, wasted draft pick. Nobody's saying that anymore.
Yeah, no, he's their favorite player.
He's easily a top 3 back in the league. I mean, it's right. It's him, Taylor, and McCaffrey, then Bijan, I think. I guess I'll throw Saquon in the pity top 5, I guess, because of what he did last season. Even though it hasn't been as good this year, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think he's probably 2 behind Taylor in terms of explosiveness.
I'd put him at 2 as well, because Jonathan Taylor is just the best player on that team. Yeah. That's why I'd say he's number 1. This is kind of an all-around just offensive performance from both teams. Nobody could really get a stop.
Well, I mean, the Lions defense got one when it mattered. They got that 4th down sack. Boy, are they glad to have Aiden Hutchinson back. That was their lone sack of the game. So, I mean, you got it kind of at the most important time. And you'll take that, Well, yeah, over 1,000 yards of offense. Let's just see, this is how many yards each team had. So the Giants had 517 total yards. The Lions had 400. and 94. And dude, really well, not like the super cleanest game in penalties, but they penalties just did not feel like they played a factor, even though each team had, 7 plus. It just didn't feel that impactful because of all the big plays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Jameis Winston, he should be just all-time backup quarterback, right? The fans get to vote what team he's a backup quarterback for. I love Jameis. I just don't want him on my team. That's the thing, though.
That's true, yeah.
But man, like every time he plays, he's the best entertainer in the sport, hands down.
He's the most entertaining player in the league, the funniest guy in the league.
The pregame speeches, his personality.
The definition of gunslinger in the league.
His playing style, yeah, the way his energy is everything. Best entertainer in the league. There's just no that pregame speech. We outside, but we inside. Just pure gold. You gotta love the guy. You gotta love him. All right.
He knows how to rally the team. It's the better option as starter than Russ right now. Just let J.J. McCarthy come back from this concussion. Let us have some fun watching
famous
Winston and the Giants.
Yeah. All right. Over this Patriots game here a little bit, surprisingly, it was really the Browns defense that kind of played better. The Bengals defense that kind of played better in this one. They got a pick 6 in this game. It was a long return for Geno Stone. He had to weave through a lot of different guys, but then, the Bengals gave Marcus Jones his easiest pick 6 of his career. Dude, Flacco the past couple weeks has just had some puzzling passes that have gotten taken to the house. I think we've reached the point in the season where Joe Flacco is like, all right, I've played my mandatory 4 to 6 good games. Get me out of here, man. I don't want to.
Yeah, it came a little too early in the season for him to have his great showings. They've had some solid run games.
Yeah,
last
Chase
2
Brown's
games, I think Chase Brown's been one of the better players on the offense.
Kind of getting it going.
5 yards a carry in this one. That's pretty solid.
And then
you don't really have any other running back to go to.
They kind of got some good pressure on Drake. They only ended up getting 1 sack, but I think that's more just because of how mobile Drake is, and he was able to evade pressure a lot quickly. But it definitely kind of affected him. He threw the ball away a lot. Besides the pick 6, a lot of the incompletions were just him being safer with the football.
I think it's the start right here. They started Barrett Carter at linebacker, their rookie from Clemson, and he had himself a day on defense. 16 total tackles.
All right, they're finally letting that guy get on the field.
It's a way better option. Him and Geno Stone, they'll fill up the stat sheet in tackles. And Stone, he had pass deflection for that interception.
We should have a snap count or something for the guys on here because Carter hasn't gotten on the field. He didn't get on the field a ton in the early season with Logan Wilson there, but ever since they've traded him, man, he's been a revelation. A lot of his 41 tackles have come in the past few weeks. He had 12 a few weeks ago against Pittsburgh on Thursday Night Football. He had 8 against the Jets, 10 against the Bears, 16 in this one. So, yeah, guys pretty good. You just gotta let them play some football. New England, let's see where their schedule does get a little tougher here soon. They'll have the Giants on Thursday night.
Yeah.
2 weeks. They're on bye.
They just got 2 tough games.
Yeah. Bills again, and then they got to play the Ravens.
Giants might just get you in a shootout.
Yeah. So I feel like they'll probably go 1-1 in those games. I think they're going to – we'll see. obviously that would be ideal for you. And finish your season out 14-3. That'd be you don't want to lose both of those though, but there's a possibility. But Buffalo's got a lot of problems. I don't know if they'll be able to compete with New England, who definitely has had the easiest schedule. But I mean, you got to just play who's on your schedule. Kind of knew that this was what was going to be coming. I mean, they were 3-14 last year. They got a last place schedule. So, and it's been
they've had ever since they got May, the seasons before leading up to drafting May, they had last place schedules too. So they're kind of used to playing this. We've seen this for a while from the Patriots. Just a matter of time before they rebuilt this roster.
A lot of dominating wins too. I mean, they crushed the Panthers, crushed the Titans, crushed the Browns.
They crushed the Saints too, even. Like
some of those final scores, like they'll just get up by a lot, and then you get some garbage time that kind of makes it look closer. But
that's because they don't want to give the damn ball to Travion Henderson at a consistent rate. Didn't he just have 30-something points, and he barely even got the ball against the Bengals?
He had 18 carries. They just Cincinnati's defensive front was just really not giving up anything.
They weren't playing around in the run.
Yeah, yards were hard to come by.
I got clicked over to this game a lot in red zone. It was like Ramondre Stevenson was on the field a lot. I was like, man.
Yeah, they were bringing Ramondre back out there. It's like, come on.
It's not what you want to see.
Let's not do this. Seahawks Titans here.
I think I don't want to read too much into this game for the Seahawks defense. I think we should just look at how good Cam Ward's going to be.
Right. No, dude, they got to just get Ward a competent O-line and actually some weapons. The Titans' defense is solid enough. I think that there isn't a ton of building that needs to be done there for them. And yeah, I mean, Gunnar Helm and Shamiri DK were your leading receivers in this one for Cam. And he spread the ball around to a lot of different guys. His Miami teammate, Xavier Restrepo, finally getting some reps.
They finally called him up. Let's go. He didn't make the roster at the beginning of the year. I mean, they kind of needed him.
Getting some action in the NFL game is wild.
Shamiri DK literally being the punt returner, kick returner, and wide receiver 2 in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, have fun with this number 1 overall pick.
That was an incredible
receiver
punt return that DK had, though.
Like he was doing it on all facets of this game. I can't lie. He got his.
He's got a lot of upside, really. Fourth round pick out of Florida, so he's a rookie. He's just showing a lot of good flashes there, man. Like he's on special teams and even as a receiver. Plus they got Alec Iomanner, who's been pretty solid there. So I mean, like they got a couple of solid young rookie receivers. I think they just need to maybe get some more a really good vet. If they can attract one of them in free agency, would be big.
It's almost like they had one, and he had a really rough start to the year. That's when their offense looked even worse when they had Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Calvin Ridley's kind of washed. I wasn't holding on to a ton of hope.
No,
for that guy. On the flip side, man, JSN. It's
have you seen a receiver like this in a while? This guy's crazy.
This will just show you how bad ESPN's fallen off. They're out here talking about George Pickens, the best receiver in the NFL. I'm like, have you guys been watching JSN? It's not even close, dude. He's on pace with what Megatron did in the season. He set the single season receiving yard record. Yep. He's on that same pace as Calvin Johnson. And
he's already the leading receiver in Seahawks history without even finishing the whole season.
Yeah, in a single season. He's broken the record. Did that in 11 games.
It's crazy.
And the thing with the Calvin Johnson record, at this point in the season, the Lions had thrown the ball like 500 times. Seattle's only had 307, passing attempts this year. So he's doing basically what Calvin Johnson was doing his record-breaking season on 200 less pass attempts.
Yep.
From his team. I mean, he was just unguardable in this one. 8 catches, 167, 2 touchdowns. He carried my team against Tolley. I'm going to get the victory there. Yeah. He's the best receiver in the NFL right now. I don't think there can be any debate about that.
Easily. They just needed to clear up room in their wide receiver core and get rid of DK.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was clogging too much of that up, getting too many receptions, and JSN flew under the radar last year. He could have been like Ibuka.
Well, I think DK wanted a lot of money. I think Seattle was smart. They're like, what? They're like, no, we need a quarterback. We don't need to be paying DK Metcalf this money. They knew what they had in JSN. Did they not? I mean, I don't even know if even they predicted like a potential record-breaking season, because like right now he's on pace for 2,000 yards. Like he would eclipse 2K receiving, which has never been done before. Absolutely historic pace. Speaking of another guy though that's on historic pace, a nice little segue here. We got Myles Garrett, who's now up to 18 sacks on the season, after we recorded 3 more in this one. And
he is right there to break that record. Knocking on the door.
There's 6 games left in the season. I think the Browns have already had their bye, so they have 6 games left.
And he needs 8 sacks to break the record.
He needs 6 sacks to break the record.
It's 6 to tie.
He needs 5 to break the record, because the record's 22.5.
I thought it was 25.
No, that's what he's probably on pace for. The record's 22.5. It's TJ Watt and Michael Strahan.
Okay.
Have.
I thought it was a higher number. I knew they had the record. I thought they had more.
Nope, 22.5. So he needs 5 sacks. That would put him at 23. That would break the record. What's really impressive, like the Browns have not had a lead a lot this season. No. So just to think about like how often his team's trailing, and for him to still be putting up these numbers.
Yeah, they're just taking it play by play. Like keeping your tunnel vision on the next play and just doing your job every single play. He's not giving up.
Yeah. And this whole Browns defense was eaten, dude. Malik Collins was getting after it. He had 2.5 sacks. Garrett had 3. Devin Bush, Isaiah McGuire, and Cameron Thomas each picking up a sack as well. Shelby Harris, Jerome Baker rather, and Mike Hall getting in on some half sacks as well. 10 sacks, 13 TFLs. Yeah, no, Ashton Genty, he didn't stand a chance.
No.
Right? Like, dude, the Browns defense is so good. Like, if they can just get something a little bit figured out on offense, yeah, they'll be golden, because you got, obviously Garrett is dominating, but I just had his name. Malik Collins has been great on the interior for him as well. Shelby Harris, another great interior D lineman. He's just been really, really solid all year. Carson Swessinger, he's got another, multi-tackle game. Rayshawn Jenkins, who they traded Greg Newsome to the Jaguars for, has honestly been outplaying Newsome.
Been playing better than Newsome, yeah.
Yeah. And so you look at all this, like, I don't know, man. The Browns, obviously their season's kind of cooked, but I think I'm just interested to see what Shador and this offense can do the rest of the season and see what they can put together.
I think Shador honestly has some weapons to make something work.
Bro, I'm rooting for Shador because like people,
I am too.
like I don't know if it's just because his dad's Dion or whatever. Like people just hate like when he shows like a little bit of confidence, you know.
No, he's not the
That's like-
first football player to ever have confidence. It's
Right.
just a bunch of
People-
people that like
people-
never really watched a full game of football in their life.
People
Want to
seem to
judge his
love like
character off
people,
of
people love
NFL
Jackson Dart.
news coming out and saying that his team interviews went bad.
Yeah.
Like they
I'm
don't
like-
even know what it was said in any of the interviews.
People love Jackson Dart. They like Baker Mayfield. They love Johnny Manziel. Like all those guys had this kind of like cocky type of attitude to them. And now, like I'm seeing people like on Twitter like posting out of context clips where they take like the very last second of an interview, where the first part of the interview is him saying, "Oh, all glory to God. Like He makes this all possible, and you just trust Him in the process." And thank you to my offensive line. They were amazing in this one. He's like major credit to the defense. I mean, 10 sacks in this one. I mean, we don't win this game without them dominating like this. He was like QJ was big with those 2 touchdowns in this one, and then after he does like the whole like thanking basically his entire team and God, he's like. This is what happens when you give. I get a week of practice in.
Exactly.
So we'll see
The
what
whole
happens.
interview, the whole post-game interview. Let's post that instead of just the last 5-second clip.
Like, God forbid a player have a little fun. I think the guy's still super young. He just won his first ever NFL game. Like, let the guy have a little fun with it, man. I like that throw to Isaiah Bond was impressive. Like that was, I mean, just that's a flash there. And then overall, fairly accurate, 11 to 20, 209, hit some big plays. He kind of got fooled by a defensive end dropping into coverage on the one interception. I think
the NFL did a great job. The NFL PR and media has been doing a great job at throwing this guy under the bus, even though he was the 3rd string quarterback, and making him look like a really bad person, just like really overconfident, like douche off the field, on and off the field, saying that he was missing meetings and not studying film. It's pretty clear that this guy has a great NFL level work ethic, and their terrible predictions were wrong. I don't know what narrative the NFL and all the media outlets wanted to just push about him. He had bad interviews with some of the teams, I guess, and they didn't want to pick him.
Like my only knock really on him.
That made like an entire group of people just dislike Shedeur Sanders.
Like my big knock on him, like he was going to be a big personality. Obviously, it's Dion's son. Like
he's also an NFL player. I mean, welcome to it.
Yeah, I definitely thought like he has a problem holding on to the ball, so I knew like some bad sacks were going to be an issue, and the arm strength could be a little lacking. But he was one like of like prospects that I saw come into. He was easily one of the most accurate quarterbacks on the run. He was just super accurate overall, and he made great throws under pressure. And I thought he had great touch and everything. And so I just was like, all right, you can really sacrifice a little arm strength for accuracy. I think accuracy, you need arm strength in the NFL, obviously, but I think accuracy, if you have just solid arm strength, which he does, and you have great accuracy, I think you can be a really great quarterback. And if you can make throws while you're under pressure, which is what
like a deep ball isn't going to be a 70-yard throw. I think he has the arm to make like 40, 50-yard passes.
So whatever team he went on to, I was like, I'm not expecting like I thought he'd get to play a lot more. I wasn't expecting gangbusters or anything. Like I thought he was going to probably have to play behind a pretty weak offensive line without a great supporting cast on offense, potentially on defense.
Yeah, he's in the worst situation out of any rookie right now.
Dude, if the Browns end up like winning, 3 or 4 more games with him back there, I don't know what the rest of their schedule is looking like. The GM, Stefanski, they're getting fired. Like, why wasn't he on the field? Why wasn't he getting reps way earlier? They got the 49ers, a bit more of a test. That is a home game there. Which, I mean, that'll be a little bit more of a test for the offense. I mean, the Niners defense, they're schematically playing really well. But they aren't great against the run. They did a good job containing Rico Dowdle. We'll see if they can, Sampson and Quinshon Judkins can get after it. Then they got the Titans, the Bears, Bills, Steelers, Bengals. I mean, there's some winnable games in there. Tennessee for sure. I kind of feel like they could upset Pittsburgh. I got this feeling that like Cleveland just always they've got the type of defense and the way it's late in the season with way the offense has been playing for Pittsburgh to where they could upset them. I mean, with the way their defensive line's getting after people and the problems Josh Allen's had under pressure, maybe an upset against the Bills isn't off the table. And then, the Bengals, it's a road game, but that's fairly winnable. So, I mean, there's a good chance that he picks up like at least 2 more wins, I think, and then maybe 3, 4.
At least a couple, right?
Yeah.
There's no way they lose the rest of them.
It seems like they're going to have a lot of tape on him, and he's going to get some more things going. So, yeah, we'll see.
That offense has way more to work with Shedeur Sanders instead of Dylan Gabriel. Like, I don't know who in their right mind was even thinking to draft Dylan Gabriel at a higher pick.
Yeah.
Like,
that's going to just go down.
I don't understand that.
It's a boneheaded move, really.
This all these QBs on this bad roster. It's like, man, we could have picked like other positions. There's that Schlesinger guy, Cody Schlesinger, pretty solid. Maybe they could have picked a couple more guys that were like Cody Schlesinger.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't mess around and pick Dylan Gabriel.
Could have, with that Gabriel pick, gotten yourself another receiver to go that wide receiver room. Because
they got Fannin and Njoku.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 early solid vertical threat tight ends. Judkins is insane.
Yeah, he's been really good.
He doesn't have to be horrible, but
I think and it's like where they took Gabriel compared to where they took Sanders. It's like that's great value for Sanders, and like Gabriel, it's horrible.
He's just the dumbest pick of all time. Yeah.
Like I was like, I mean, they'll never want to root for a guy that not succeed. I just didn't think he was really going to be a quarterback that could be super successful in the league just because he lacks a lot of the physical tools, is just very undersized. He's not super quick, and he just doesn't have a big arm. He can't really. He's got like maybe 1 or 2 deep balls a game in him, but he can't really put a lot of velocity on his passes. All right, well, we're gonna have to probably cover the rest of these games tomorrow, man. It's
already noon.
I know there is a lot to discuss, so we'll be back with that tomorrow to break down the new CFP rankings. We'll recap a lot of these other games. I mean, we still got Chiefs, Colts. That was a huge game. Jags, Cards, Eagles, and Cowboys, as well as our 2 primetime games to break down. So we'll have that for you tomorrow on top of our CFP breakdown rankings, some hoops updates. We're going to talk about how dominating the Avalanche have been this season in the NHL. The things they're doing are absolutely insane. And we'll also have Team Building Challenge and our Week 13 picks. Thanksgiving weekend is upon us.
That's right.
We'll catch you guys on the next installment of Till the Final Whistle here on Military Broadcast Radio. Take care, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.